morning, welcome to Sewing Quarter. It's lovely to have you here with us this morning. If you're just joining us, you're new to us on Sky, then welcome. My name's Amy Burrows, and if you've been with us on Freeview and you're one of our good old trusted viewers, then, well, I'm very happy to be back. I've been away for a little while. I was away doing Panto for the last, well, 6 weeks or so, so I've been busy playing Cinderella, but I'm back here today and very happy to see you all again. So remember, we love to hear from you. We love you to get in touch. Sewing Quarter is so much more than just a shopping channel. Not only are we bringing you fabrics, but we bring you bundles, kits, lots of inspiration, lots of lessons and ideas of things to do. So let's have a little look at the menu of what's coming up on today's show. In this first hour, work from Gadget. So I've got a whole host of things to show you. We've got the circle cutter back in stock. We've got Odacoat. We've got lovely, a really fantastic steam cleaner. I'll show you all those different gadgets. Then at 9, Jess Entwistle is in. Jolly Jess, we're doing a Quirky Cube Bag, which I'll show you in just a second. I've got here on the desk. 10 o'clock is Fabric Shop with me, as you can, and then 11 o'clock, Workstation Make. So we're doing a really cute notebook cover and also a tablet cover, and there's a little tablet rest that we can show you as well. So perhaps if you've got one for Christmas and you need to keep it nice and well protected, then that's going to be ideal for that. Let's show you this bag first of all. I love a bag. If you don't know me, you'll get to know I'm a bit of a bag fiend. I do love them. We're doing this cube bag today, which has got a really lovely sort of big base at the bottom, which is really great if you want to store lots of things in here. Perhaps if you're using it as a bit of a shopper to take things with you, or to workshops or sewing classes. You've got loads of room in there, and Jess is going to show us. It's almost a bit like a, where it's a bit hexagonal, it reminds me a bit of a beehive, but you can just see here in that shape at the bottom. A nice chunky bag, and it folds up really beautifully as well. So that's the Cafe version, but Jess is going to be showing us how to do that at 9. And then we've also got the notebook cover, which I'll just show you. Look at that. She couldn't believe this morning when I was like, I love it. I love stationery too. Stationery and bags are my two things. So my first day back, they've spoilt me with both. But you can see here, you've got this lovely little, you just pop your pencil through to keep it all intact. And then you've got your notebook cover there. So this is Jess's personal diary, so I won't open it right up in case she's got some sneaky notes in there, but we'll show you how to do that at 11. So let's show you the website if you are new to us and you just want to figure out how to get in touch or how to buy anything. So you go to sewingquarter.com, and if you just go to the watch icon there at the top, so that third one along, click on that. There we go. There's the live feed of today's show. You can see me chatting away about the notebook. And on the right-hand side there is a bubble that says message the studio. So if you set up an account, you can send us a message on there. That will sort of shift a little bit further down the page on the right-hand side as the products load from today's show. Hello, so you can write whatever you like in there. There is a limit. You could sort of carry on typing away if you wanted to on that, but there is a limit. It's a bit like Twitter. So I think it's 140 characters you can write in that bubble. If you want to write a longer message, then the way to do that is via email, which is studio@sewingquarter.com. If you want to send us a photo as well, I'd love to see what you've been making. You can attach those to the email too, so you can send those in. They go straight through to our producer, Hannah, upstairs, and we should like to show some on air if we have time. And I'll always look at them after the show anyway, so I do love to see your makes and things. So send those in to us too. Now we've also got, I feel like I'm throwing all this we've got a lot of information to tell you this morning. It's because we've got all these lovely new people joining our clan. So, and we've got a really great new offer today for new customers. So this is for today only. And if you spend over £30, it was on yesterday as well, but it will finish today. If you spend over £30, look at that for a gift. So you get the Gutermann thread, you get the book, How to Use a Sewing Machine, and you also get those scissors. So all 3 items, that's worth over £30. We'll show you a little quick short film on that, just so you can see exactly what's going on with that offer that we've got for you today.
If you shop with us for the first time between Wednesday the 17th of January and Thursday the 18th of January and spend £30 or more, we'll give you an amazing bundle of free gifts. The bundle includes the book, How to Use a Sewing Machine by Marie Clayton. It's packed with essential information on how to choose and use your machine, plus dressmaking techniques and expert troubleshooting tips. You'll also receive our 23cm dressmaking scissors with stainless steel blades for precise cutting. A pack of 7 Gutermann Sewell threads is included too, in warm French cottage colours. These threads are ideal for both hand and machine sewing. Altogether, these gifts are worth over £30, completely free for you as a new customer. So be sure to search through our online store filled with sewing delights, or watch our shows to find your perfect new purchase from the 17th of January. But don't delay, this offer is only available while stocks last.
That's great, isn't it? It's a good little offer for our new customers. So if you do buy anything today over £30, you will get that gift sent out to you. And we have loads of great offers here at Sewing Quarter. And if you've got any questions as well for our designers, so today I'm joined by Jess Entwistle, and she also designs for some of our sister magazines. If you've got any questions about any of the makes she's doing, or perhaps just want some advice, if you're maybe doing a quilt or some dressmaking and you're not sure, you're a bit stuck on something, send us in some questions as well. We're happy to answer those. And they come straight through to the tablet that I've got on the desk just over on the other side, so we can answer those on air. Now, we've also got a birthday block competition. So we're coming up to our first birthday. Can you believe it? We've been here nearly a year. So the 31st of Jan is our birthday, and we're running a competition. So our birthday block bonanza, loads of you have already sent in a block. We're going to assemble these together into a great big quilt. This is a competition. We're coming into the last few days of this now because it needs to be in by the 20th of Jan. So we're debating this morning with Royal Mail, with the postage service, when might be the last day you could post it. We think it could well be today. So if you are making a block and you want to get that into us, it needs to be in by the 20th. Now, the only other sort of rule that we stipulate with that is it needs to be a 12-inch finished block. So it doesn't need to be finished. You don't need to bind it or anything like that. But you've just got the seam allowance there. So it will be a 12.5-inch block, which we'll use and sort of have it down to 12 when it's finished. And you won't get that back. We will have those here at Sewing Quarter. There are some prizes to be won in that competition as well. And then we'll have those here for our birthday. And there better be cake. That's all I'm saying. If we don't have cake in our week of birthday fun, then I'll be very disappointed. So the terms and conditions for that are also on the website if you do want to clarify any of that for the birthday block. Whew. We made it through all of those things I had to tell you. I had lots of messages and things to get through to you this morning, but I think we're nearly at the end of it. Now I can get on with some fantastic offers we've got here today. So you might spy our sewing machine that I've got here next to me. So Elna is our home brand that we always have here on the show at Sewing Quarter. So it's the machines that all of our designers use when they're on the show, when they're doing projects with us. And today we've bundled the 540, we've never done it like this before, with this walking foot. So this fits obviously onto this machine. And rather than some of the sort of slightly higher up sewing machines might come with a walking foot, this particular machine doesn't. And for most people, if you're going to add a foot onto a machine, if you're going to buy an additional foot, it will often be the walking quilting foot that you will add on. Now what this does is it pulls the fabric through the machine in an even feed. So if you've got different fabrics, or if perhaps you're quilting and you've got the layers there, it's going to just feed it through really nice and smoothly so you get that nice finish. And as I said, a lot of people will always buy this as an addition to add onto their machine. But today we've bundled this together with the machine, so you're saving £30. This is 50 on its own, so we're very limited on this, but the walking foot on its own, or the even feed foot, usually retailed at £50. Today this is bundled in, so it will only be £20. It's all bundled together with the machine, so you're saving £30 there. And producer Hannah's got this. This is why we've got it on at 8 this morning. It wasn't meant to be on till 9. We will be talking about this more as we go through this morning. Jess will be using it as well in her hours. But producer Hannah was like, why, I didn't get the foot when I got the machine. She got it for Christmas and she only started using it last night. She had to buy the foot separately. So that one to get today all bundled together for you. KTGC33, and that's $468.99. So something else we've got back in stock. We're really pleased to have this back in today. This honestly came back in this morning at 7:30 this morning. Hayley, what's Hayley's official title? She's sales manager Hayley. This came back in at 7. Boss Hayley, that's why I wasn't sure what we call her. This came back in this morning. She said we can get it back in this morning for the first show. So we've got our circle cutter. So this is from Fiskars, and so that's obviously a really well-known, reputable brand for scissors and for blades and cutting. A brand that goes back many, many years, and I'm sure many of you will already have in your workrooms for your pinking shears, for your normal scissors, for your embroidery scissors, all of those sorts of things. But they also have a circle cutter. So this is perfect. Rather than, we all draw around a dinner plate. That seems to be the one that we do quite often if you want to get that perfect circle. But this is all about creating perfect circles every time. And you can see these different increments here on the grid, or the ruler, you might say. If you just look at that there. So you'll notice all the way up to 12 in half-inch increments, you've got these different circles that go all the way up. So they include a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and these channels here, if you just see, you've got the 2 lines here at the side. One of them lays on the fold of the fabric, and then one, if you do want to build in that seam allowance, you can. But I'll show you exactly how this works. So you place this on, you'll see the cross just in the middle here, really simple to use. This is an example of the perfect circle it would make. Perfect every time, so you know exactly what you're going to get. So the blade itself comes like this. It's got a little safety cap on there. And you'll notice that the blade isn't exposed. So if I just tip it to the side, you can't even see the blade anymore. It's only when you apply pressure that you can just see that blade is engaged there. So from a safety point of view, it's nice and secure. Now, also on the top here, you'll notice that this swivels. So what this is great for is if you struggle with any of the dexterity in your hands, perhaps if you've got arthritis, or you don't want to apply a lot of pressure, what's great about this is as you turn it around the circle, the channel in the ruler, this moves with you. So you've not got to really sort of twist your arm. You can quite easily, either just with the palm of your hand, you can use a grip, just run it through the channel. So what you do, you place the cross on the fold of the fabric here. So this is folded in half, so you've got multiple layers there. And then you can just see you line up these little black lines at the side. So that's where the fabric fold line should be. Then you'll notice these 2 little notches just there on the cutter itself. And what you want to do is just slot those into one of the channels. So you can see there, when it's slotted in, that's not going to wiggle out. That's firmly sat in the channel. Now from there, as I said before, you can apply the pressure either just with a flat hand or with a grip. I quite like to hold it. And then you've got grips on the actual pad itself, so that's not going to slip anywhere. I just place my hand on there as well. Then you just run this around the channel, push it through to the other side, pop that on there, and then you just pull your circle out. Look at this, here we go. Multiple layers, perfect accuracy with your cutting there. And what's great about this is once you've got different sizes, imagining you had different fabrics, you could layer these up. You could do all sorts of things. Perhaps if you're doing a quilt that's using curves, sometimes curves are one of those things that people really want to avoid just because it requires a bit more tricky cutting. But what's great about this is that you don't have to worry about that. You're going to get the precision every time. You're going to get that exact measurement every time. And from a safety point of view as well, that blade, once it's engaged in the channel, it's not going to slip anywhere. It's actually just quite good fun to use as well. I was like, oh, I'm happy to demonstrate it just because I love doing it. It is good fun. So you just pop that on there. I'll show you once more. Line up your cross. Slot this in the channel. Pushing it round like that to the other side. Remove your circle. Oh, that's it. Oh, just missed it there. Just one little bit. We've got 6 layers of fabric here, that's why. There we go. There's our perfect circles. Now also included in this bundle, you get a replacement blade. So you can just see in the top here with this cutter, all you have to do to replace the blade, really simple. You just unscrew the top and you see this little orange part inside there. You just twist that out, obviously dispose of that, and you get a spare one here. So you get one already with it in the cutter, then you've also got an extra one included in this kit. So perhaps if you want to use it on your new favourite fabric, or you want to use it on a thicker fabric, maybe you know, a denim or something like that. If you want to save it, they do last, but if you want to use that new blade, then you can. And then you just drop it straight back in, really easy to change. Literally takes about 10 seconds. You drop that in, twist that back on, and then we're ready to go. So that's our Fiskars circle cutter. As I said, we managed to get that just back in stock this morning, so we wanted to bring it straight back on air to you. So EDGC22, here's the whole bundle for you. I'll just show you a picture there. With your replacement blade, the cutter itself, and obviously the ruler with those channels. Lots of people popping that in their basket this morning. $34.99, EDGC22. Now, for any new customers, just to keep you in the loop so you know exactly what's going on. If you pop something in your basket on the website, that isn't a guaranteed order until you've placed the whole order and processed it with the payment. So one of the great things here at Stone Quarter is you only pay 1 P&P per day, so it's $2.95. That's capped, it's added on at midnight, right at the end of the day. So say you buy the circle cutter and then later on something else takes your fancy and you want to buy something else, then you can add that to your basket and you won't be charged another P&P. But just make sure you do check out your baskets, because if we have limited stock on things, obviously they will go to the people where the it's been processed all the way through to the end. No different is it to if you had your shopping on the conveyor belt in the supermarket, it's not yours till you've put your card in and paid for it. So $34.99. If you're a new customer as well, then you'll get that new free gift with that this morning. So you'll get your book, you'll get your scissors, and you'll also get your, what was the third thing? The, the thread. There you go, your Gutermann thread. So we're going to head over to, I'm over on the other side now, a quick change. So I've got this tablet here, remember, on the desk, so I get all of your messages come straight through down to us. So, and they go to producer Hannah upstairs, then down to me. So let me know what you're up to, what you're making this morning, and it's lovely to be back with you all here today. Now, we're going to start, first of all, should we look at the book? Yes. How exciting is it that we're on Sky? It's great. I love it. Look, we can share all of our new ideas with lots more people. So what I'm going to start with this morning is the Ultimate Sewing Bible. So this is kind of like an encyclopedia of lots of different sewing topics, and it's perfect perhaps if you want a bit of some tips and advice on how to do things, a really thorough, intricate guide and sort of doing the step-by-step instructions. So if you're new to sewing, or perhaps you've been sewing for years, or perhaps you're thinking of going back to it, maybe you did it at school and you've got some time on your hands now and you want to start a new hobby, New Year's resolutions and all that, then this is a really great book for that. Now, we did have another one where we popped some Post-it notes in, but what I really wanted to show you, I'm going to just try and find it, is the home decor section in this book is fantastic. And we know in the new year that for a lot of people, sort of, let me just find it so you're not just watching me flick through pages. We know that a lot of people like to sort of jazz up their home a bit in the new year, so add something new, maybe some new curtains, cover your chairs, do some new cushions, because it's a bit miserable, isn't it, in January? It was really freezing this morning when coming in at 6 o'clock, and when you just want to sort of make your home nice and cosy and maybe add something new. So the lovely thing in this book, as I was saying, with your home furnishings, is you've got lots of step-by-step instructions in lots of detail. It's one of our only books that does it in detail for home furnishing. So first of all, sort of talks to you about working with different fabrics and different patterns, whether you want to go bold or neutral for things in your home. And then also talks to you about texture, which I think is so important. So obviously, depending on the room in the house, maybe if it's for, that's a bit bright on the screen. If you want to work with maybe a hessian, so perhaps for a conservatory, perhaps you're doing, you're working with a linen, maybe for a blind, or different things for curtains and cushions. So talking you through working with those different fabrics. Then as we go through, we were saying, I think one of the first things people often ask you is when they know you sew, oh, do you make your own curtains? And I know that my nan, I don't know if she's watching this morning, good old Nanny Midge, if she is watching, curtains is the one thing that she does, she has always made, and that's, put all the fabric out on the floor in the lounge, and she's always made curtains. This book goes into great detail, first of all, on measuring your windows. So you just need the accuracy, obviously, so the curtain fits perfectly to the window frame. It's even got a glossary of the terms that it uses for that process. So if you're not quite sure maybe what the cut drop refers to, what the fabric width or the cut width, the recessed window, perhaps if you've got a bay window. Then talking you through there, so measuring for different pelmets. There's your bay window, maybe if you want to do blinds. Then you've got recovering chairs, so maybe if you're sort of vamping something up a bit, or maybe you've got something second-hand or from a charity shop and you want to give it a bit of a new lease of life. Even chair covers for a wedding, actually, that's a good idea, if you wanted to have them all matching. Then obviously you've got your preparing the fabric. Then it talks you through, there you go, there's your curtain section. Curtain support, so talking about the different types of rails, how you might attach those. Curtain headings, so you've got obviously all of the different ends of the curtain poles there, and maybe the different ones, the different designs that you might like to include. Then you've got lots of curtain tips. But what I liked here as well was these different pleats and things you can incorporate in the top section of the curtain. So perhaps if you wanted to do a pencil pleat, which is this one here. You've got French pleats, you've got box pleats. Covering all your skills you might want to incorporate. So you've got goblet pleats. This is just one section of the book. I've just honed straight in on the home decor section, just because I think this time of year we all need a bit of a spruce up. a spring clean. Oh, please be spring. Come on, spring. It must be nearly here. So all of this is just curtains. As I said, as I skim ahead there, I'll just skip a few pages. But you've got the tie backs as well. And then moving on to blinds. So maybe new bathroom blinds. Perhaps you want to add something new. But there are lots of different sections. As I said, I've just skimmed through to the home decor part, but we'll look through in more detail. But it's a really thick, comprehensive guide, and you've got a dressmaking section there. So that whole amount again, but all on dressmaking. And then you've got all of your general skills here. So perhaps you hear us reference certain stitches, or our designers might say, oh, you know, you use a stay stitch, or you use this type of stitch, and you're not sure on those techniques, and you almost, you know, just want something to refer to. We have a lot of people here at Sewing Quarter who perhaps did sew when they were younger. Maybe you did textiles at school, or maybe you used to make your own clothes, or maybe you did it with your mum or your nan when you were a child, and you haven't really had the time to maybe do it, and you've maybe got a chance to do that again now. What's really lovely, if you just want to go back and recap those skills, or just remind yourself of any of those things, we know you know it really. You don't have to, it's okay, we'll let you off. But it's a really comprehensive book, a really clear guide, and what I love about that is just those different sections, so your dressmaking, your home decor, in such detail, so you don't feel like you've been sort of shortchanged, where you go, I don't really think that would be enough information for me to go ahead and do it. There is enough there in each of those skill sections for you to then feel like you've got the confidence to go and complete that project. So I've got 2 of those here now. Oh, we've got some messages. Let's have a look. Morning, Leslie. Leslie from Shropshire. Morning, Amy. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you. Hope Panto went well. I'll email later a photo of book covers I've made. Please do, Leslie. We're doing a book cover later as well, so I'd like to see those. And Panto did go very well. I had lots of fun. Oh, I'm still getting, oh no, you didn't, in my ear. Honestly, I couldn't tell you the amount of hundreds of times I must have heard that over the last month. And Naomi from West Yorkshire has also messaged in, hi Amy, lovely to see you back. I hope you enjoyed the panto. Thank you, I really did. What's not to enjoy? Just get to put a glass slipper on every day, waltz around the ballroom. It was quite fun. I was doing Cinderella. And Anne from Cheshire. Morning, Anne. Hi, Amy, welcome back. Your bubbly nature has been missed. Oh, thank you very much. I've missed you all. I sent in a Christmas message, and everyone at Panto was like, what's that for? And I was like, oh, it's all my friends at Sewing Quarter. So, no, it is really lovely. One more from Bev as well. Oh, this is lovely. Thank you so much. This says, morning, Amy. Great to see you back. Bubbly as ever from Bev and Caroline. Thank you very much, ladies. Really nice to hear from you. Keep sending in your messages. Even if I don't get a chance to read them on air, I'll read them all when I finish. So thank you very much. And I did think of you because we had a few costume malfunctions, and we had the seamstress backstage sort of quickly putting zips in, and we didn't have the right length zip. And I was saying, well, you know, you should have ordered that from Sewing Quarter. I did think of you a few times. I really did. So what should we go for first of all? The flexible ruler. Okay. Which is here. I don't know if I've got one open. Let's see. Let's have a look. I haven't got one open, so I'll show you here. The best thing about this is that it's a wobbly, bendy ruler, and I can't show you because it's in the packet, but I'll show you in here. So this is a flexible ruler. It's really great for dressmaking. So if you're transferring patterns, perhaps if you've got, you know, the shoulder seam or the curve of the collar, or those French seams, and you've got a curve. What's lovely about this is it's a malleable ruler, so it bends, you can move it. And if you are transferring those patterns, you can use it for that. So it's a 50 centimetre ruler, and you can butt up against it if you can just see there the depth of the ruler. So if you are marking using Tailors Chalk, you can use it with that straight line. And it's a reversible, so you can just see there you've got it in inches and centimetres, so you can just flip it over depending on whether you want to work in imperial or metric. So, oh, producer Hannah's just saying this is, what was that? Oh, if you want to mark up lines for free motion quilting, so perhaps if you've got waves or any of those lovely fans or anything like that, this is a great option for that too. PRPH08. I want to show you how it waves around. That's the best thing about it. It's like a wobbly ruler, but it does lay flat, and you can use it to obviously do your lines with. And 950. Now, let's have a look. Now, we've also got the Clover. We've got all sorts of gadgets in this hour this morning, so I'm just going to show you all sorts of different things that you might think, do you know what, that would save me some time or a bit of effort. Maybe you haven't seen some of them before. Lots of little workroom tools, really. So this is the Clover 5-in-1, and this is a sliding gauge, and it's really useful for all sorts of things. So first of all, you just press that little button down there, And you can see, you can slide this down in an 1/8 of an inch increment. So if you can just see these markings on here. Now you'll notice on one side, it goes from 1 to 5 this way, and then on the other side, it goes up to 5. So the 5 different, the reason for that is if you want to use this to create circles, what you can do, there's a little pinhole in the middle there, and you use that as a pivot point. So what you can do, all about the circles this morning, aren't we? Is imagine that that's secure there. You can use the marking that goes up and out to 5 to draw circles. So you just pivot that there all the way around to get your perfect circle. And if you could just slide that along to know which size you wanted to do. So it might be a 2-inch circle. So then you'd be following that green sort of slider there, or you could go up to 5. This is great for buttonholes, so if you want to space them evenly, maybe on a shirt all the way down the front section, then what you could do is just pop that slider onto the increment that you like. We're saying we just like the noise that makes, it's quite satisfying. So it's good for buttonholes. And you can just see here, you've got all of those markings in little small sections. So it's really easy. You can use this as the top marker, and then you can use that space there just to figure out how much room you need to leave between the buttons. Now also, Nancy, who's one of the queens of Clover, there are lots of videos on YouTube that she does talking you through the gadgets. So perhaps once you get this home as well, if you want to know any of the other things that it does, you can go on there and you get instructions in the pack anyway. But she will just talk you through, because it's her product, she designed it, so she can sort of talk through the features in terms of exactly how to use them and why she put the certain elements of that in certain places. Very clever lady. She does lots of our gadgets that we have here at Sewing Quarter. Now, next up is our Best Press Linen Spray. Now, this is my favourite one. We have this in 3 scents. The one we've got on this morning, this is my favourite, is the Linen Fresh scent. So really lovely, clean linen. This is I have an air freshener of this scent in my car. We've got quite limited stock on this. We've only got this in the larger bottle, so $9.99. What's great about this, obviously, it's a starch spray, so it doesn't leave any residue. It's not like those old-fashioned sprays where you'd be really sort of left with all white residue on your clothes. You'd be quite resistant to using them. With this, it's all about giving you that lovely, crisp, professional finish when you're ironing. So whether that's for quilting or whether it's for dressmaking or cuffs and collars, or perhaps if you're cutting something on the bias and you want it to have that a little bit of rigidity and also just a bit more sort of strength and just crispness, then this is really great for adding that. Also adds a scent in that linen fresh smell. Loads of you already added that to your basket, $9.99. We've used a bit of ours, you can see here. This is the one we use. Quilt As You Go also recommend using this spray. So that's the Mary Ellen one. We're going to take it out just because we are very limited on stock. Lots of you with it in, more of you with it in your basket than we've actually got. So I'll shimmy that away. Okay. Okay, Tailors Ham. We love a Tailors Ham. These remind me of Janice Hobbs, because one of our designers, she always gets this and she gives all of the shoulder seams a good bash with this. So if you haven't seen one of these before, again on that ironing theme really, and giving you that lovely crisp professional finish. For dressmaking, a Tailors Ham is a really useful tool to have in your workroom. So all about creating curves. So perhaps if you're creating a bust and you've got a dart over that, it's really great. You can just iron over that to create a really lovely curve. Also good for, you can sort of ease the fabric in a dart. You can bash, it's quite weighty. The word bash doesn't sound very good, does it? But you sort of give that a bang and it can really help to create a curve in the dart there. So you've got that fit that fits you really well. So it's easing it in, gives you that really lovely finish. So you can iron straight over that. Again, lovely for shoulders as well. And also good for bag making as well. Perhaps if you've got the base of a bag and you want to create that lovely, you know, when the bag sort of curves up at the corners and you want to really shape that, you can do that with the hand too, just sort of manipulate it a bit and to iron over this curve. We have it's not called a sausage. Is it called a sausage officially? It's called a roll. I call it a sausage because this is on the theme of ham and pork, isn't it? So I call it a sausage. It's like a sausage roll. But this is our ham this morning. Oh, I didn't have any ham at Christmas. I didn't cook a ham. I didn't have time. I only had one day off. I need to do that now. Someone said to me that you're meant to cook a ham in Coke. That's meant to be really lovely in Coca-Cola, and that gives it really lovely sweetness. That is on my to-do list. I would like to try that. That's a tangent there. What should we go to next? The form band, okay. So former band, this is an iron-on tape, so you can see here, it's a bit like, it's a bias tape you can use with jersey fabric. And what this does is you iron it on, and it really helps to just create that professional finish, again, sort of helping to up the finish of your garment. So quite often on the neckline or a shoulder seam. It's great with jersey fabrics, and it sort of maintains the shape. So I'll show you here on the shoulder of a top we've got. Because jersey as well, some people are a bit scared of or reluctant to use because obviously it has a bit of a give to it. But if I show you here where we've used this tape, if you can just see, just peeping out in there where it irons in. Can you see that there, the charcoal colour? I wonder if there's more on the other side. Here we go. It just helps to shape that shoulder so you get that really lovely flush curve from the sleeve to the open neckline. And that's iron-on as well. Now it's also got a stay stitch you can see on there, so it's not going to go anywhere. It stays in place once you've popped it on. It doesn't fray or anything. Can you see that line of stitches just there? I don't know if it catches the light. You might just be able to see it, but it is there. And you can just see on your shoulder. Well, so just show you a still of how that comes to you in its packet. Obviously, as well, Visaline, a brand that we use for lots of different iron-on things. So for whether it's, you know, fusible interfacing or fusible wadding. And you get 5 meters of that. It's 1.2 centimeters in width, and it comes on a roll like that, so you can just cut off, use a little bit that you need, and then add it back to your stash. I love having a stock of things. I'm all about having, like, I like to have it all there ready to go. I don't necessarily use it all, but you just feel like you've got all the right tools for the job. Now, the water pen, we've got some water here. Oh, don't tempt me. This is like I should have a cup of tea under here. Okay, so we've got the water pen and some fabric. Now, this is a marking tool I was just going to show you this morning. Really easy to use. Now, obviously, a lot of us will use a water erasable pen, or you might use Tailors Chalk, or you might use, what else do we use? The markers, the glue markers and things. Now, what's nice with this is it's really great for if you want to mark a delicate fabric and you're worried about something staining or marking. Water, obviously, is always going to dry, so it's not going to cause any permanent damage. Now, how this works, if I just show you the nib here, it looks like a regular pen. But there's nothing in there at the moment, so nothing coming out if I show you on the fabric. But what you do is you unscrew this section here, a bit like where you would put the ink cartridge, and it acts a little bit like an injection. So you just hold that push button down there. If I just hold that in the water, I'm not going to be able to. We kind of needed a cup, I think, because I'm going to have to put my finger. I can't get my finger in. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this with the mug because I have to put my hand right in. Let's see whether, has it done it? Let's see. We'll show you that in a second. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Of course, on my first day back, we have a bit of a malfunction. I'll explain what happened. So the water would go in there. I've now got soaking wet hands anyway. What would happen? Let's imagine that this is wet, which it would be. And then you can use that to draw on your, this is obviously, it comes through the nib. Can you see there, that line? And then you can use that to crease if you want to. I don't know if it's difficult for you to see that there, if you can see those lines. Obviously, if there was water in the actual pen, then there we go, you would be able to see it. Now, what I also love about this is that you can use it for stain removal. So if you popped a little bit of stain remover in there, and perhaps you had a really, just a fine point, maybe you've dropped a bit of dinner on something, or it's on a delicate item, maybe a tie or something, and you just want to apply the stain remover to that tiny section, that little, you can just apply it just using the nib of that pen in that one area, in a concentrated area, rather than it going all over the place. Let's just show you the packet as well. You also get 3 refill nibs in there. So you've got those spare nibs as well. So if perhaps you wanted to use one for stain remover, one for something else. I'm just drying my hands. That's why I might have gone a bit quiet. But if you wanted to use those, as I said, one for stain remover, one for just marking things up. And obviously you can iron straight over that. The line's going to dry. And also the other thing you could use it for, if perhaps you're using a water erasable pen. So Jo Carter, who is our toy designer, she always has one of those in her handbag. That's her go-to pen. If you're marking something up with a water erasable, with one of those pens, and you just want to remove the line, so perhaps if you're making a toy, again, you can just use the water from that, just rub it over the pen, that's going to disappear, so it's completely gone and it sort of doesn't leave a trace on your fabric. So as well, if you wanted to mark up something perhaps on the outside, so maybe the finished product, so perhaps if you're marking maybe where you're going to sew the mouth or the eye holes, and you're worried about that leaving a residue, again, you can just rub that away. It's a bit like an eraser, really. It acts as a rubber if you wanted to just wipe that off. Let's pretend that horrendous demonstration didn't just happen and the water just went straight up from the cup into the pen and you knew what was going on. I hope that still made sense. Okay, got a wet table now as well. Right, let's go. Next one, Tailors Chalk. So on the theme of marking, this is a workroom essential, particularly for dressmaking. This is obviously the most traditional way of marking up your fabrics. So in this pack here from Hemline, I'll open it actually, you do get 3. So depending on what fabric you're marking up, you've got a pink, a white, and a blue. So obviously if you're working with a lighter or darker fabric, you can choose a chalk to suit. It's a little essential for the sewing box, really, really great value, £1.49. Obviously, one of the biggest benefits of chalk is that it just rubs away. So that's from Hemline. Now, next up, I told you there were lots of little bits and pieces today. I feel like I should be saying stocking fillers. Last time I was in was pre-Christmas, but we're past that now. So this is a sewing machine oil. So really great if perhaps your machine isn't running as smoothly as you'd like it to. You just it needs a little bit of lubrication. What's great about this is it's got that little nozzle at the top, and you can just apply this oil to your machine. It hasn't got any acid or resin or anything in it, so it's not going to damage the machine. It's just going to help it to run a little bit more smoothly. So you just trim that little top section off there and then it's got a nozzle. And if you think how much you've invested in a machine, obviously that's an expensive piece of kit. It's something that you want to last, and for the longevity of the machine, you need to maintain it. And an oil like that is just really great for keeping it running, as it was when you first bought it, keeping it running nice and smoothly. The other thing about this, you can also use this if you wanted to, just around the house. Say if you've got a window lock or something that's a little bit stiff and you just need a little bit of oil in there. It's quite a useful little thing to just have. In that drawer we all have in the kitchen that's sort of got the drawer of stuff. So like mine has got a tape measure in it, it's got a screwdriver, it's got batteries, and it might have one of the, it's got some glue, it's got random things in there, it's got takeaway menus usually. That oil is one of those great things just to have in there for keeping things running smoothly. £2.99, OMPH 46. Let's go for the needle bundle next. So on the theme of your machines, we've got this morning, if perhaps you want to add some different bundles to your stash, we've got 4 different types of needle in this bundle. So you get 20 needles in, oh no you don't, sorry, you get 16 needles in total. So you get 5 of the jersey needles, 5 quilting needles, 5 embroidery needles, and then you've got your twin needle as well. So a twin needle is obviously for your finishing of things. So perhaps if you want to have that double line of stitching, maybe on the bottom of a top or on some garments or as a decorative stitch. Amanda White uses that a lot. So if you wanted to use a twin needle, you've got that one there in the pack. Then you've got your jersey needle. So like that top I just showed you, if you're working with a jersey, you do need a slightly different needle just to cope with that fabric. It's got a slightly rounder point just to adapt it really to work. So it helps to work with that fabric. So that's your jersey needle there. You've got 5 of those. Let me just lift that up. And you've got different sizes there as well. So if you can just see at the bottom, 2 10s, 2 12s, and a 14. You can't work on your regular machine without a jersey needle if you're working with the jersey fabric, so you will need those if you're planning to do maybe some dressmaking. Then you've got which ones are these? The embroidery needles. So you can just see there if you are doing some decorative stitching. Again, you've got 3 11s and 2 14s, so you've got some different sizes. And then finally, you've got your quilting needles. A little bit sharper. 3 11s and 2 14s. And a tip from some of our guests, a lot of our designers, if they use these to quilt with and they've perhaps done a whole quilt with it, because that needle is sharper, once it's been used for a whole quilt, then they can leave it on their machine and just use it as a general needle, sort of a universal needle, if you like, just to have in your stash. So it's got a double use, really. It's not all done and finished with once you've used it for quilting. So that's a bundle of all of those different needles there. As I said, you've got 16, so very useful perhaps if you've not got all of those already in your stash and you want to flip between, just so your machine's got that versatility to work for different projects and with different fabrics. You get that from that bundle there. I'm being summoned to set 2, so let's head over to the other side and have a look. I'm excited for this, the steam cleaner. I'm clearly easily pleased. I love this steam cleaner. Honestly, we've got a little video to show you on this, but I will just say we have one of these in our green room here at Sewing Quarter with sort of with our dressing rooms. And in the mornings, this is absolutely fantastic because I don't necessarily choose what I'm going to put on until quite close to showtime, and then it needs a quick steam just to make sure it's all nice and crisp and ready to go. So perhaps if you want garments that you need to quickly steam, then you can do that. It helps those creases all drop from it. It's great for delicate fabrics. Perhaps if you've got a silk or a chiffon, it's not going to burn. It's really great for storage as well. It's got that telescopic. We'll show you the video. That's going to tell you all about it, and I'll tell you in a sec. It's just because I love it.
Want to show you today our monster garment cleaner. Now, this is a steam cleaning device, and it's something that we use every day here at Sewing Quarter. It's revolutionized for me the need for using an iron, which I absolutely hate. So we steam our clothes before we come on air, and this has lots of fabulous features, which I just want to talk you through a few of my favorites. Now, firstly, it's very portable, it's very easy to use. Down the bottom here, which you don't get with all steam garment cleaners, you've got down here lots of different options. So when you come and you turn it on, you've got the off position there. That's obviously self-explanatory. Then this one here is just a humidifier, so it's just going to bring some steam and freshen your garments. Now here, this one looks a bit strange, doesn't it? But this little icon here is a sterilizing one. So if you maybe are bringing curtains out that have been sat around for a little bit, or if you've got baby fabrics or a baby quilt that you want to make sure is super, super clean before you give it back to the child, then this is a fabulous one to use, because it's going to sterilize and use that steam without any detergents or anything like that to kill any germs or any nasties on there, which is a brilliant one. Now you notice then we have 2 different garments here. The white garment here, this is for lighter weight garments, so your shirts and things like that, that's a perfect one to have that setting on. The black garment there, that is for your heavier weight garments, and also for your curtains and your quilts and things like that. That is the perfect setting to have those on. Now, once you have it out of the box and assembled, you're going to want to fill it with water so that you can start steaming. Simply lift the tank out, turn it upside down, unscrew, fill with water, screw back up, and then slot back in, and you are good to go. You get lots of goodies with your steamer, which are fabulous. Now, I know a lot of you will be saying, but Natasha, I don't have much space. That's fine. Look how small this package is down to. So it's the size of one of your little hoovers at home. Takes up no more room than that. You can even unscrew the hose if that's a problem as well. You can just unscrew that, and it takes up hardly any room at all. Now, when you come to assemble it, it's very, very simple. That pole goes in there like that, and then you just screw it on. Now, this is a telescopic pole, so you can then just flip these open and have them at whatever height you wish. Super easy to do. Now, the other thing that this comes with are different attachments for the nozzle. So when you've got your nozzle here, you can just steam with that. When it's turned on, you'll see that it's ready. Lots of steam will be coming up and the light will turn on. You can just use it like that, as like I say, absolutely fine. For those stubborn creases or heavier fabrics that are sometimes a little bit more tricky, then what you might want to do is add on your brush feature. Now, the brush feature just clips on like that, and you can use that brush against the fabric to help bring out any of those heavier, more indented creases. So that's a great one to have. The next one is for your trouser press. Yes, you can do trousers in this too, which is brilliant. And if you want to press creases in as much as creases take them out, then you can always clip that on to your fabric there and use that as you steam up and down. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is this. So this clips onto your pole at whatever height you like, depending on the length of the trouser, and you have clips there to clip your trousers onto at the base. And when I lift this up here, push that across there, I can clip my trousers in top and bottom to hold in place to then steam. So once you have it all assembled, it's time to switch it on. Now, this red light here will only come on once it's to temperature. So you want to wait for the red light to come on and you'll already start to see the steam coming out the top of the steamer. So that's your cue, and then you know that you are ready to go and we can see it in action. So start at the bottom, holding it a little bit away from the fabric. If you've got a heavy fabric or you've got really thick creases, then you might want to go over it a couple of times. But always start from the bottom and let the steam do the job as it rises all the way up. And those creases just fall away.
I'm not quite sure why it's called the monster garment steamer, but it is very impressive. I do love it, and I do use it whenever I'm here in the mornings. Honestly, I genuinely use it in the green room every time before we come on air. As you've just seen Tash beautifully demonstrate, you've got your water in the bottom, really easy to just help drop those creases out of things. It stores away really nice and compactly as well, and it's great if you don't want to use an iron. Perhaps if you struggle as well, maybe with arthritis or with the dexterity of using a big heavy iron. The great thing about the steamer is it's really easy to use, and you've got the 45 minutes of continuous steam, so you haven't got to hold a button down. It's just going to steam once it's plugged on. You will need to check out your baskets on that one. It's a really popular item, and I'm not surprised. I would like one of these at home. In fact, I might have to invest in one. BWHV96, and that's the garment steamer, $59.99. Now, another little sort of tool or gadget for your home that we've got this morning is this Slimline Lamp. So you might have seen this before. So it looks a bit like a lightsaber, but I will show you. What's lovely about this, first of all, you've got your chrome finish, so it's not sort of obtrusive in any way to have in your home. In fact, it's a very stylish lamp that you would quite happily have, you know, maybe in the lounge or in a workroom or in the dining room or conservatory, wherever you might do your work. So it stores, you know, it doesn't take up a lot of room because it's got that slimline finish to it. Obviously it's very small, but it's got those flex points. So the great thing about that is it's got the mobility to move it so you can use it exactly where you need the light directed. So if I just show you there, you can bend at these points so you can direct the light wherever you need it to go. And then under here, I don't know if you can see, I'll turn it on. I don't want to blind you. Can you just see there? These are all LED lights. So these are exactly perfect for colour matching because these are reflective of daylight. So perhaps if you're working late at night, perhaps if you don't have a window near where you work and you want that true colour matching to really look how things will look in daylight, the great thing about this is those LED lights really do reflect true daylight. Also, they don't heat up, they last. It's not like a regular light bulb. It's not like those energy efficient ones that don't ever really give you much light at all. So it's great as well if you don't want to strain your eyes, perhaps if you struggle with headaches or migraines and you just need to be able to see things a little bit more clearly. This might help just because you can see, can you just see there, that light underneath? I'm turning that off and on. Just a really easy touch button here at the side. Now, we've bundled this today, so you might not have seen it like this before. What we've put it with is a Liberty cross-stitch book and also 3 embroidery skeins as well. So you're saving £10. It's a special price with all of these things this morning put together. And the cross-stitch book, you save £10 by buying all of these together. This is a beautiful book. I'm a big fan of Liberty. When I was last in before Christmas, I said I quickly sneaked into Liberty's in London and had a look around at their Christmas floor and all of their beautiful fabrics. And they do have some really lovely designs, and we're lucky enough to have some of their fabrics here on the show. This here is the Liberty cross-stitch book. So you've got 42 designs in here. Lovely if you do want, you know, a project that you can do on your lap. You don't necessarily want to be sat in front of the sewing machine. And this is broken down into 3 sections. So it's things to make for you, things to make for a baby, and things to make for the home. So I've picked out a couple of projects to show you. I'll just flip through first of all. So this is the first section there, in the home. And I love that it utilises those Liberty prints within the book. we're just coming to that overhead camera so you can see. So really great using that lamp for the detailed work, you know, if you've got anything intricate or fiddly. So I picked out, I love this tea pouch. I thought that was really stunning. You can see there the cross-stitch detail, but I just thought that was a really lovely, dainty little pouch for loose leaf tea. The other thing I picked out, which I loved, was the bottle holder. Again, with that cross-stitch detail, if I just lift that up for you, that cross-stitch detail on there. But lots of different projects. You've got book covers, you've got quilts, and then at the back, you get all of your, they're not called templates, are they, for cross-stitching? Your charts, your cross-stitch charts. So perhaps in the evening, if you want something to have on your lap, and I know a lot of people, maybe if you're watching the telly or a film and you like to have something on the go while you're doing it, cross-stitch is a lovely thing for that. Or even if you want a project to take on the go with you, maybe on the train or something. But if you want to use it in the evening and you want to be able to see a little bit more clearly, the lamp is really fantastic just for making things slightly clearer, slightly more bright, and teamed there with your thread for your cross-stitching. So you save £10 on that, KRGC00, £154.95. And so next up, we have got Odacoat. Now, I've never had this on the show before, but I've seen it demonstrated loads of times, and I'm excited to tell you all about it this morning. So Odacoat this is like magic. You can make any cotton, any fabric, waterproof or water resistant. So it becomes like an oilcloth. So what you do is it comes in a tub like this. This is a 250ml tub. And you've got enough in here to coat 2.5 meters squared of fabric. So what this is it's a waterproof adhesive gel. Let me open this. Because it's got glue, it's got stuck. We've used, look how much of this we've used before. So what you do, you apply this, obviously this will be full when you get it, we've been using it. So you apply this to your fabric, to any cotton. You can do it with just a regular paintbrush, or it comes with a card as well, an Odacoat card, that's a bit like a store card or a credit card. And you use it to smooth. And what happens is, this is it with one layer on. I don't know if you can just see there, it doesn't affect the colour, but it just gives it a little bit more structure, and it also means it becomes wipeable. This is a better example, so you can layer it up. That's one layer of Odacoat. You can put 2, 3 layers. This batik fabric was just a regular cotton, and now it's become wipeable, so it's brilliant if you wanted to make wash bags, toiletry bags, table mats, perhaps for children, or bibs, and it's still washable. That isn't going to come off. You can still put this in the washing machine and it remains water resistant. It's going to repel that water, so you can wipe it. I think one of the things this is great for any children's projects. As I said, bibs, table mats, anything that's going to get a bit messy, perhaps an apron for arts and crafts and painting, maybe a swimming bag. There's loads of things you could apply it to, and it's the sort of thing that when you've got in your stash, you start to go, oh, I could add Odacoat to that, or just because you like the look of the finish of it, not necessarily because you want it to be waterproof. So that's our Odacoat MVGQ81. Loads of you with that in your basket this morning. It's a really fab product, really great. Another fab product is the circle cutter, which we've got back in stock this morning. 7:30 this morning, we had confirmation that this was back in stock, and we managed to get it in this 8 o'clock show to show you. Loads of you have already checked this out, but aware that some of you have got it in your basket. If you do want it, you will need to check it out. So just as a quick sum up of how it works, there are channels within this ruler here, all the way along. You place your fabric underneath. If I just tip that so you can see all of those increments along the bottom, and it cuts a perfect circle every time. So you place the cutter into the channel, it just notches in, and it's got a blade in here. When you apply pressure to that, the blade engages. You just run that through the channel, and it cuts a perfect circle. These are the finished circles. So these were just the ones that I cut this morning. Really simple. And we've popped this together in a bundle this morning with a spare blade as well. So you get the blade that's already in the cutter itself, and then you've got a replacement blade here too. So when you've used it a bit, like we do here, we've rubbed the brand name off the top. We've used it so much here at Stone Quarter. You just pop that replacement in the top. If you are new to us here at Stone Quarter this morning as well, and you've got this in your basket, and you've never bought anything from us before, there is a free gift this morning if you spend over £30. So this is a perfect example of something you could buy where you'd get that free gift. And again, if it is in your basket, if you're new to us, maybe you're joining us on Sky, if it's in your basket, you do need to check it out. It's not a guaranteed purchase until you've gone all the way through to the end. But Fiskars, you know that's going to be, you know you're going to get that blade that you can trust. It's going to be nice and sharp, but also it's safe because it's not engaged until you apply pressure to it. Finally, which glue should we go for? The Gutermann glue. So this here is a textile glue from Gutermann. So we're used to seeing this brand with threads and with anything, you know, that's about applying fabrics together. So they've got a textile glue here, which is really strong, and it's perfect for these purse frames that we quite often have here. So these are glue-in purse frames. This is an example of a finished one. You can just see there what it looks like. So it dries clear. It's not going to leave any residue on your fabric. But an example here where that channel, if you can see that this one isn't completed, can you see that channel just in there? You could pop the glue into that channel, and then you just use a noodle stick. You can just pop your fabric into that, glue that in, and you end up with a lovely little finished purse like that. Obviously textile glue as well you can use if you wanted to quickly mend something, if you wanted to just adhere two pieces of fabric together, and you can use it for all sorts of fabrics. You could use it for heavier weight, you could use it for denims, for PVCs, for cottons, for jerseys, so lots of versatility with that. And again, another great thing to have in your stash. That seems to be the theme of the morning, things to have in your stash. So in the next hour, I'm joined by Jess Entwistle. We're doing a really lovely cube bag, so it's a quirky bag ready to take to the shops. Grab a cup of tea and I'll see you in 2 minutes.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
If you shop with us for the first time between Wednesday the 17th of January and Thursday the 18th of January and spend £30 or more, we'll give you an amazing bundle of free gifts. The bundle includes the book How to Use a Sewing Machine by Marie Clayton. It's packed with essential information on how to choose and use your machine, plus dressmaking techniques and expert troubleshooting tips. You'll also receive our 23cm dressmaking scissors with stainless steel blades for precise cutting. A pack of 7 Gutermann Sewall threads is included too, in warm French cottage colours. These threads are ideal for both hand and machine sewing. Altogether, these gifts are worth over £30, completely free for you as a new customer. So be sure to search through our online store filled with sewing delights, or watch our shows to find your perfect new purchase from the 17th of January. But don't delay, this offer is only available while stocks last. The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com. Get ready for a day of sewing delights on Saturday the 20th of January. Join me, John Scott, and Becky Blease and Rebecca Reed this Saturday morning for not one, but 2 fantastic projects from Simply Sewing magazine. At 9 AM, Rebecca Reed will be showing us the casual and chic carry-all bag, exclusively available as a kit at Sewing Quarter, and first seen in Simply Sewing issue 38. This easy-to-create bag is the perfect accessory for weekends away. And at 11 AM, you'll be singing in the rain when Rebecca creates a charming raindrop cushion using a selection of pretty blue hued fabrics. It will be the perfect accompaniment to your favourite chair. So don't miss these stunning projects on Saturday the 20th of January, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Good morning, welcome back. We are doing bags in this hour, so I'm very easily pleased. I love a bag. Here we go, I'll give you a twirl to begin. We're doing a bag with Jess Entwistle in this hour. It's a really lovely cube bag, loads of room in this. Let me show you it here, held out. It's quite, the shape's really quirky and different. It's kind of a bit geometric because you've got those, with those almost hexagons built into the top there. It's a really unusual shape. I've not really seen anything this sort of shape before. And what I love about it, because a little bit like Mary Poppins, I like to add loads of things to my bag. If I've got a big bag, I will always fill it with knickknacks and purses and goodness knows what else, diaries and snacks. But you've got loads of room in there to pop all of your things so you take it on the go. Great as well as a shopper, perhaps, if you wanted to take it to the supermarket or to the shops to pop things in. Let's show you the photo of that first of all. There it is. So Jess is going to show us how to make this morning. And it's from this book which we've got in this hour. So it's 25 ways to sew with jelly rolls and layer cakes and charm packs. So it's all about using those different pre-cuts of fabric. This is where we've got the design from for this bag this morning, for the cube bag. And all of the instructions are in here. But you've got 25 different projects in here. And I'll show you first of all the one we're making. There it is. That's the Quirky Cube Bag. We will look in more depth at the rest of the book as we go through the hour, but just so you get to see, it's got all of the layout and the instructions of how we're going to make it. Talks you through the whole process, the assembly, the handles, the finishing. And we'll have a chat to Jess about how she found making it too. So that's the book we're working with, and we've got 3 bundles for this bag this morning, so 3 different options, different colourways depending on what you might like. So we're going to start with bright. It's the start of the year, we all need cheering up, let's be honest. So we're going to start with some K facet, and we've got a really lovely bundle here with 2 half-metre cuts, so 1 metre of fabric. Then you've got your thread, and you've also got a really lovely K fat quarter bundle, which is a really great way of adding some K to your stash. How many fat quarters in that bundle? Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. You get 10 fat quarters. And if you're not sure, perhaps you haven't seen one before, I'm just going to show you the size of a fat quarter. So it's obviously a quarter of a piece, a metre piece of fabric. So rather than it being a long strip, so if you cut a metre square, if you cut it into quarters lengthways, you just have long strips which aren't always particularly useful. Whereas a fat quarter is a fatter version of that, so it's divided into 4 and you end up with a square, which means you get lots more of the design, which is great for fussy cutting, but it's also just generally a more useful piece of fabric that you can utilise in different projects. So this is the one that Jess used in the cube bag with that pink and green. There we go. Oh, you can see it on the picture. But also, you won't use all of these fat quarters in this project, so you will have some left over for your stash. Or if you cut cleverly, you know, you could just use the solids, and maybe one of the fat quarters is a big long strip. So you will definitely have fabric left over here that you can use for other projects. Because this is a patchwork, I'll just show you quickly on the side of this, if you can see. You're only using a little small amount of each fabric. So you will definitely have some leftovers. Almost like that cathedral window here too that Jess is going to talk through. So that's the island cube bag. I feel like that's an exotic one that we might take to, it's like a Hawaii sort of theme. Next up, we have got the Alison glass. So we've bundled these. This is a slightly different bundle. The next 2 are all cut in half meters. So you've got 6 half-metre cuts in this bundle. So no fat quarters, just 3 meters of fabric. So you've got half a metre here. So you've got Makawa solid spectrums here at the bottom. You've got the linear look fabrics with that cross-hatching detail. And then you've got 2 Alison glass designer print fabrics here at the top in your pink and blue. And Jess is working with this in this hour, so you'll get to see this a lot. And again, your thread. So half a metre, half a metre, half a metre, all the way down of all of those different fabrics. All of those are 100% cotton. And that one is £29.99. And then our last bundle is more of a neutrals bundle. So this one is using some Tim Holtz, which is a really lovely, his inspiration sort of comes from paper craft. He does a lot of inks and stamps and those sorts of things. So we've also got a Liberty print in here, so we're spoiling you. We've got a little selection. If you just see here, these are the 2 Tim Holtz. You can spot them straight away. You know a mile off what a Tim Holtz fabric is, because you can see those lovely, that sort of inky detail. And then you've got your Makawa solids, you've got a spot on, and your lovely Liberty this is a quilting weight cotton that you've got in this bundle. So again, 3 meters. Paul Clark made a dog coat with this fabric and it was absolutely stunning. It's a really lovely fabric. JPGC 99. I've just got a puppy. I got a puppy on Saturday. I'm going to have to show you some pictures. He's called Teddy and he's a multi-pern. He's absolutely adorable. And I can tell already I'll probably talk about him too much, but he's just tiny. He's absolutely diddy. I can't wait to show you some pictures of him. I need to make a little dog coat for him to take when he can go outside. So I've got distracted. What we're doing now, we're going over to Jess. We're going to show you the bag. So this is once more the picture of the bag that's coming from the Jelly Roll book, which we're going to do with Jess this morning. There we go. And the book is $14.99, so if you do want the pattern and the instructions for that, you will just need to add the book separately to your bundle, GMSP 43. Jess, hello.
Happy New Year.
It's ridiculous to be saying
I know.
that, isn't it? But
it's been ages. You've been doing
ages.
panto and saw the pickies.
I have been busy doing panto, but I'm back in the normal world now. I'm not a Disney princess. I've got to be normal.
Always be a Disney princess.
Always.
Who doesn't want to be?
Oh no, it's magical. It's so lovely. How have you been?
I'm fine, thank you. We're now no longer doing Christmas. Done Christmas forever, so now it's
July.
a bit strange,
Done
isn't
Christmas
it?
since July.
Yeah, so we're all a bit. Now what? Getting through January.
If you haven't seen Jess before, you were on last week anyway, weren't you? But
yes.
For all of our viewers, maybe if you're new to us from Sky, you do a lot of designing for our sister magazine.
I do, for Simply Sewing. I write the main story piece for that. So next week I'm about to get back onto doing Simply Sewing issue 41.
On to the next
so
one.
I think it's 38 that's out at the moment, and I know that Rebecca Reed's doing a bag that I designed in it, part of the sort of gym sort of set. She's in tomorrow, Saturday. So yeah, I do that. So that's what I do in my other time. So I mix between magazines and this.
Always sewing, basically.
Yes,
whether
always
it's a
sewing.
TV or a magazine,
Yeah, exactly.
Jess is busy by a machine. Well,
Yeah.
that rhymed.
Oh yes, oh I like that.
Yeah.
I might have to have that.
Anyway. So, first of all, you worked with the cave bundle for the cube bag, didn't you?
I did.
You've got loads left over.
There's loads. These were uncut, and there are scraps left over from the ones which were cut. So as you see, you get 10,
yeah.
And as you can see, we use 5. So this is what's actually, so you get loads left over, and you can do obviously add that to your stash. So, and as I say, you don't actually use a huge amount of that. Well, the actual instructions to the book talk about making this bag from jelly rolls. But you don't need a jelly roll as long as you can cut a 2.5-inch strip from anything.
Just get a
yeah,
rotary
exactly.
cutter and
So
cut
fat
away.
quarter's fine. So effectively, to make a jelly roll, you cut 1 fat quarter, 2 2.5-inch pieces, and then the rest goes into your stash.
So you only use that.
Yeah, you only use one
5 inches really of the.
5 inches of this, and the rest of it will go into your stash. So you get loads left over. So they, as you can see, so that. And all of this goes into your stash.
So that island bundle, you get 10 fat quarters from K Facet. So you can see those there on your screen. You've got your thread and you've got a metre of fabric. So it's just worth showing you quite how much fabric you've got in there, because you might look at that price and go, oh, maybe for a bag that's quite, but it isn't just the bag. You'll have, you know,
exactly.
You could do a fair few bags.
Yeah, I mean, 10K fat quarters is brilliant. But
there you go.
For this one, we're using the Alison glass prints.
Yes, which is a slightly different
feel. And I love these ones. I mean, when you get anything like this, a lot of the fun is in the playing. Before you actually do the making, it's the playing. And these prints are just divine. I mean, you've got loads of little details.
It's like a little compass, isn't it?
Yeah, she seems to do lots of things with little compasses and then adding in little sort of bird details, and I think that's a little seahorse there.
Oh, yes.
And it's
the more you look, the more you see. It's one of those sort of...
and then you've got this one which has got little bees on it. And the colours are just, they're really gorgeous. And then they've mixed them with a couple of solids. And this one, where you think you're not too together, but they really go. It really glows together.
This is quite new to us here at Sewing Quarter, Alison Glass. So really lovely collections. Like Jess was saying, you really can see loads of detail in it. You can see there's just those design elements, and also that depending on which section you use, you'll get different
That's the thing, because you may think, I mean, with this one, it's a fairly sort of solid repeat, but this one's got slightly different details. I just went cut across there, but you've got loads of little bits, and if you wanted to, I mean, I know we're doing a lot more embroidery now here at Sewing Quarter, but if you wanted to, you could add these, sort of pick these little details up with little embroidery.
Yeah.
It's just playing with fabric.
It's so cute.
I know, they're really cute. I hadn't really spotted them. I just thought, oh, every time you look at it, there's something new. So it really works well as a print. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, especially for this time of year.
So in this bundle, you get 6 half-metre cuts, so you get 3 metres of fabric in total. Here's what comes in this one. And you've also got that teamed there with your Macawa solids. So you've got navies and blues, and then your thread. Oh wow, we've already got less than 20 of that one in stock, so please do check out your basket.
It is lovely.
And we're going to be working with that this whole hour, so
we are.
If you like that one, you will need to check out your basket. JKGC99 at $29.99.
So the book.
Let's get going, Jess.
I have a scan of the book, so I haven't actually seen the rest of it.
Here we
so
go.
I might have a quick look at that at some point. Oh, I love the thing about jelly rolls. I have books on jelly rolls as well, but you don't necessarily need to use them. But if you have, it's a great way of using a few strips. And with the actual, if you are using jelly roll, you only need 5 jelly roll strips. So you only need 5 prints plus your solids. But if you're using these, obviously you cut 5 inches across and then you cut it in half, and then you
fabric left over.
So what it actually tells you to do is to take your strips of fabric. So you cut 5 strips of fabric. This is making the sort of patchwork panels, first of all.
Yeah.
So you cut 5 strips. So work out which ones you actually want to go for. So I decided to line mine with this lovely bright sort of blue.
It's nice to have. I would choose to have the pattern fabrics on the outside.
Yeah, pattern fabrics on the outside.
You want that.
And then you want the sort of solid on the inside. So this is actually being used for the lining, but I also decided to use this on part of the patchwork. And then this is the contrast. Here we've got it in this damson colour, but I've actually chosen this sort of navy to do it as the actual contrast. So you've got the sort of dark on the light.
Kind of like a frame.
Yeah, and it also sort of picks up the dark here. Like this one, because we've got this lovely green thread, it worked really well with the green. I love that print, and it's
like a cut crystal, isn't it?
It's just
like
lovely. It's really nice.
Sort of fossils.
Yes, really, really gorgeous.
This is the island bundle, remember, so that's the cave bundle with 10 fat quarters and your 2 half meters of fabric. But you can just see that here as well. You're going to look at this patchwork detail and how to create cathedral, would you call that?
Cathedral
window?
Yeah. So what you actually do to actually make this particular thing, you cut your strips.
Yeah.
In this case, you would end up with 10 strips, because it asks you for 5 if you're using jelly rolls, but because it's longer, cut them in half, you've got 10. You see what I mean? And you actually line them up into a long, long row, and you sew them into a long panel. So you end up with a panel, I think it tells you about 20 or 21 inches by 20 and a half of strips. And then you actually cut those into rows. So you end up with, I've got a whole load here because I was just playing with them. So you end up with cut strips like this. Can you see, these are all sewn together?
Yes. So they would have all just been straight down, wouldn't they?
Straight down like this, and then you cut them. So you end up with your panels. You can see how the panels are beginning to form there. And then you're working out, you then, if you can see, let me just get the book open, probably easier. Because the wonderful thing about this book is it actually got loads of pictures in it. The instructions are great, but when you haven't actually got pictures, a lot of them... It's a reference. Yeah, it's a reference. So... tells you all about how to actually cut things and then how to assemble them. So you have this is your patchwork strips like this.
Just here.
Just there. So you're wondering what that bit is there. It makes the little window, but I'll show you that in a minute. So first of all, you have your strips, and you only need 6 strips in total. So 3 on one side, 3 on the other.
Yeah, so you're going to have some left over.
You have a bit left over, yes. So we'll just...
You could do the handles, couldn't you, if you wanted to, I
suppose? You could do. I mean, it would be a bit exciting.
Bit busy. Quite busy,
a bit in your face. So you end up with for each bit you need 3 strips. And what I'd ended up doing is I decided to turn the middle one just so it's a contrast. That was just silly, wasn't it? So I decided to make the middle one sort of a slightly contrast, so when you open the window it's slightly different. But what you tend to I ended up with having a band. I think it's, where is it? Is this one?
Oh yeah, or like here where you've all
so work out how you actually want it to look. That's the fun, is the playing bit. And then you need to create your actual sort of window part. So what you do first of all is you take your central strip. So can I just quickly have the iron on?
Of course
you can. A quick press. And you add 2 other strips. These are the same width and the same length, cut from your contrast fabric, which makes the other 2 panels. You see there's the same width.
Yeah.
Which you then fold in half and press, like that. So we'll just give these a quick press.
Okay.
Just give them a quick flat.
So if you've just tuned in this morning and you're wondering what we're up to, we're making this cube bag from the Jelly Rolls book. And at the moment, Jessie's just focusing on this patchwork section. So you can just see here, utilising whether it's the fat quarters or whether you're utilising the different fabrics. This is the island bundle that's used for this particular bag. But just, so lining up these strips of fabric here, and like Jess said, she reversed the middle one. She turned it round so it sort of peeps through. And then Jess is just going to show us how to create this cathedral window effect, almost with like a binding.
Yeah, it is like a binding.
Yeah.
Because it is effectively how
you would make it.
Yeah. If you're doing quilting, you'd make it slightly bigger, and this is exactly like quilter's binding. So you have your strips, and you first of all get your middle strip. So we use this as our middle one, and you pin these two. Can you see? So that the folds are in the middle. And you pin them to the outside and you sew them on with a 1/4 inch. What I wanted to say was I have in this machine a 1/4 inch foot.
Yeah.
Sorry, an 1/8 inch rather. This 1/4 inch foot is my own. I know that we actually do sell them as well, and mine is actually my machine.
You take it with you, don't you?
I take it with me, just in case we can't find it.
You've always got that in your bag.
I love it. I actually have it in my purse. It lives in my purse. So I have a gingham at home, but gingham and Elna is the same brand, so it's interchangeable. I would recommend anyone get this foot. It is brilliant.
Because it's transparent as well.
It's transparent. You can see. You can see. I don't know if you can zoom in on it. It's got the 1/4 inch marked. A 1/4 inch is on the edge, and then you have your 1/8 just there, just the sort of middle strip bit there. Really handy if you're doing quilting. I don't know if you can zoom in. So let's use my little pen. So that is your 1/8, the middle bit. And your 1/4 is there, which lines up with that line there, and then the edge of your actual foot. It also comes with guides as well, so you can actually add a guide on. I never bother. If you're doing quilting, you could have a guide on, because then you can see where the line is. Yeah, exactly. But I absolutely love this. This is one of my favourite new feet, because I do quilting, but I'm not a quilter per se. I'm more sort of a general, let's figure this out type kind of craft person. That's what I tend to do.
But the actual machine that we've got today, we're all just figuring it out really, Jess, let's be honest. Yeah. The actual machine we've got today, the 540, we've bundled that this morning with a walking foot, which we've never done before. So it's got that even feed foot that comes with it. There's normally £50. You'd have to buy it and add it to your machine separately.
I've got one of these as well. Perfect for quilting, loads of layers.
Just to keep it nice and smooth.
Yeah, nice and smooth.
And even.
And it also means it moves the layers together, so otherwise you get creep and it shifts. This is brilliant. Makes a noise. I'm not going to lie, it's not quiet. It goes ka-tunk, ka-tunk, ka-tunk.
Because it's where it's easing it through.
Although my kids will sleep through anything, so I do actually have that going in the house at like 2 in the morning, and it is brilliant. I would recommend getting one of those. You might think, because it's not particularly cheap, but it is brilliant. It makes such a difference to any quilts you're doing.
This is what you find most people, if you're going to add any foot onto a machine, you know, if you are going to buy a machine, you want to add any additions on, the one thing that people, with the feedback we constantly get is that people will always add a walking foot first, because it's something that's really useful. It's usually £50 on its own. Today you're making a saving of £30 because it's all bundled together, so effectively you're only paying $20 for the walking foot. So you get the machine and here we go, we've got a little picture. KTGC33. Great for dressmaking, great for quilting, particularly once you've got that walking foot, as Jess said, just for getting that even feed as it goes through. Yeah,
it has made such a difference getting one of those. I would say if you're going to invest in things, because your machine always comes with things like zipper foots and all that sort of stuff, and these are
which
sort
you
of
might not necessarily even use that often.
And mine came with a clear, I think it's called an embroidery foot, but I actually have that in my machine all the time because I like being able to see the fabric underneath.
Yeah, that's the same as this one.
Yeah, so I swap between, depending on what projects I'm actually doing, I swap between this one, especially if I'm doing anything which involves inches. My other clear one, when of course move the needle over depending on what
where you want it
seam allowance actually want, and the walking foot, it really has made such a difference to my sewing.
So just with what we're doing at the moment, where you've got these two strips, obviously you said that the fold is in towards the centre.
Yes.
So you've got all of those open edges. And you're sewing this onto one of the edge panels, not the one
middle panel.
The middle panel.
Yeah, the middle panel. You sew the middle panel, and then you sew, so we're just going to put this one on. What actually happens is you sew these onto the middle panel, and then you sew these ones. So they're sewn on with an 1/8.
Yeah.
Like a stay stitch. And then you sew these ones on with a 1/4. And then you fold it back and you end up with your strip.
Yeah.
And then that's when you start making your cathedral window.
Okay.
So we'll just sew this one as well, and then I can show you that, and then I'll show you how they assemble the bag, and you can have a look at this strange little object.
So you can just see here the two folds are into the centre. I don't know if we can just pick that up just in case you weren't sure which way round they went. So when we lay the second one on,
then you'll see
it'll be the two folds in the middle.
A lot of things that one of the reasons I love sort of books with patterns and things is learning something new, because even if you think, not sure about that.
Yeah.
It's learning a new skill, and all these sort of skills are transferable. So you may think, oh, I've learned how to do this one, I'm going to do it on a cushion, or I'm going to, because you do get so much fabric. You may decide, oh, I'm going to use this particular idea for a cushion or for a quilt or anything. Absolutely anything. At all. And that's one of the things about sewing books, because they all have something different to them. So it's just adding to your skill set.
What I love as well, though, is that with the fabrics and when they're all put together, is that there are a lot of, sometimes they're fabrics, like you said, oh, I'm not sure how to put that together, but it works. It's works. Because they've been put together by people who have the eye, an eye for colour. Or if those things are the bits that freak you out, if you think, oh, I'm not really sure, I don't really know how to pick fabrics and put them together and know that the finished thing's going to work. The great thing about the kits and bundles is that they have been, those fabrics have been, all matched up, colour matched and put together by someone with an eye for colour. Yeah,
especially if you're somewhere. I mean, I live in Bath, and Bath is very lucky. We have a lot of fabric shops. We're near Bristol as well, which has got a massive amount of sort of section of fabric shops and things like that. But if you don't, and when I grew up, we just didn't have anything like this. So to actually be able to see how things are put together at Sewing Quarter and add to your stash.
Or even just to discover things you didn't even know existed. Yeah. I mean, I often come in and we've got a new tool and I think, oh, wow. And you hear people then say, oh, I don't know how I coped without that. I don't know what I did before I had that thing. Yeah. But if you don't know it exists, you just get on with your own, you struggle along, don't you, with whether it's threading a needle or...
Whenever I come here, there's always fabric I haven't seen. Yeah. I think last week I was here with Tash and I was like, ooh, that's a new one. So I've just done that in like that. Now I'm going to see where I've actually put my strip, and then I'm going to reverse it. So that's got this lovely, what do you call this, like a burnt orange?
Yeah, and that lovely linear look as well.
So I'm just going to pin these on this side. And I'll show these on with a quarter. They should.
Red, white and blue, we're kind of going a bit royal,
aren't they? They try and make sure, if you can, that your actual seams line up. So your actual patchwork flows nicely.
Well, you want them to just sort of go like, in strips.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
If you've got the time.
If you've got the time, do it, because you won't regret it. So let's just put that on like that. We're just going to sew them together to get it done, because we know we're going to, when you're doing something really quickly in an hour, because I want to show you how to put the bag together, because putting the bag together, when you first see anything like that, you think to yourself...
Well, it's an unusual shape.
It's an unusual shape, and that's one of the things. When you get anything like this, it's learning how to make something completely different.
It's just getting your head around it. It's kind of the maths, isn't it,
it's
really?
The maths. I love maths when it comes to sewing, because it's trying to work out how things work. So when you design something like a brick cushion, and you've got a certain space, how big the brick should be, and then
it's kind of like playing with Lego as a child, isn't it? Figuring out the fits and how things go together.
Playing with Lego as a child builds you up for patchwork.
Just quickly, while you're doing that, Jess, the machine, we've now got less than 10 of these in stock, so it's a really popular. Today's bundle is a special offer. We've never had it bundled like this before here at Sewing Quarter. So this is the Elna 540. Elna are our home brand here at Sewing Quarter, so they're the machines you'll always see on our desk here that our designers are using. And it also comes, it's been teamed with that even feed walking foot, so perfect for quilting, for pulling through those multiple layers. It's what we find most people usually buy and add to their machine, that they need that foot to get that lovely smooth, even feed going through, like Jess was saying. So less than 10 of that, if you do like that one, KTGC33. And it is a great machine for dressmaking. It's not just for quilting. It's got lots of different features on there, loads of different decorative stitches as well, and the LED display, which is really easy to use and to see.
I know we're battering along here. It's also not that loud. A lot of I had a very old machine for a very long period of time, and it was
talk over.
It was like old cars. Remember how loud they were? You sort of yell in the car, and then you get a new one, and everyone's really silent and serene. It's rather nice.
It's got that top-loaded bobbin as well, which is quite nice. So
yeah, it has. Right, let's just take this out. So that's one, and then we'll do the other one.
Okay.
So you can just see with this one, hopefully it will line up. When you're not doing it live on telly, you're really, really quick. So that is the revert. Can you see?
Yes.
Like that. Okay, so we'll just sew the other one on. So on the other side, fold it over like that. Make sure you get it the right way round.
Start to build it, don't you?
Start to build it, yeah. And this is how you make 3 panels. Then you give it a press, and then I'll show you how you do a cathedral window. We won't have time to actually, because you hand sew that. You can machine sew it. I know we've got a beautiful quilt, which I think Lucy Brennan did ages ago, which was a lovely cafe and like a charcoal.
Yeah.
beautiful.
You'll notice as well, if you're new to us, we have different quilts up on display that loads of our different designers. This is from yesterday with Victoria Peat.
I saw it. It was just, I mean, I've put a little picture of her sample and the most beautiful mix of cape and grey. Oh, absolutely.
It's like changing the artwork every day. It's like hanging up a different picture. We hang up different quilts.
Especially when you've got these lovely hangings as well. I hadn't seen this before I came here.
Oh, they're great. We sell those.
I know.
They've got a little marble in there, so they protect the quilt. You can they're on the website, but you can just slide your quilt in. And so if you want to display different quilts, it's a really lovely way of doing that. The marble in there just stops it from, it doesn't pinch or sort of leave an imprint, just slides in. It's a bit wonky.
I remember growing up, my mum's quilts were always, she'd put them out on the bed, she'd interchange them, they would always go out to be washed because they were huge. But they lived in cupboards.
Yeah.
So to be able to have them hanging on the wall, which is
like art. That's what they are, art.
And you know, when you're doing a big quilt, that takes time. But when you've got, we do lots of sort of mini quilts, and you can easily scale down a quilt pattern to make a mini quilt. And it's just showing something that you've actually created and putting it on your wall. Great for changing seasons, all that sort of stuff.
And I love it. And great as well for you to learn different skills if you want to flip between.
It's like building a library. It's like anything you make when you look at it.
What you've done and what
it reminds you of, oh, look at that, that was really good fun, I really enjoyed that.
I'm going to show you the quilts in here. That was why I was just going to show you the
that is gorgeous.
quilts in this book. So this is in this jelly roll book that's also I've got the bag instructions in. So you've got the summer petals. You can just see there. Again, so like for example, as Jess was saying, if you wanted to interchange it for seasons, perhaps for summer or spring, and you'll have that leftover cave, so you could start to maybe you could keep hold of that. Perhaps if you wanted to also use the same technique on a cushion cover. Then we've got the circles squared. I'm sure we've made this. I've seen this one on the wall.
That's beautiful.
Or maybe we made a cushion version of that.
Maybe. That's the thing, I mean, if you get a quilt book and you're thinking I don't know how to do that, make a cushion, scale it down.
Just try, it's almost like one block of
it. Just trying it. It's trying something different. That's the wonderful thing about doing sewing. You're just trying something new. And if you don't like it, doesn't matter. You've still got loads of fabric for your stash.
Yeah, of course. And if you do like it, scale it up, make a nice big quilt.
There you go, hooray.
So you've got your all of the quilts in there. You'll notice as well all of the templates as you go through. So lots of different quilts to utilise pre-cuts. But then you've also got, if I just skip forward a little bit, we're still on quilts. Oh, that's nice. Loads in here. And then I'm just going to skip ahead. Here we go, to some of the bags. So we've got the Starburst tote. Put that there. You've got the iPad case. Then you've got little accessories, so a bag charm. That's sort of a nice quicker project, or perhaps if you've got a little bit of fabric in your stash to use up. It's cute, isn't it?
That's really cute.
I like hanging little trinklets and things like that.
Yeah, me too. Trinklets.
Trinklets. That's a good word.
It's a really good word.
That's to hang on the edge of your sofa. So you've got your pin cushion, and then it's weighted there, so you could pop, if you're doing some hand sewing, we showed you the cross-stitch book earlier this morning, perhaps if you're working in the evening and you've got your lamp on, and then you've got your bits and pieces in there to store it. So loads of different projects as we go through, and then we've obviously got the instructions for the bag that we're doing today, the Quirky Cube Bag. Loads of you have checked out on this book already this morning.
Oh, look at this fabric. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's the thing about bags. Bags, you're actually walking around with something you've made, so you're showing off your skills.
Yeah. I love a bag. That's bags and stationery are my two favourite things in the world.
Stationery. Oh, I know, I'm with you on that one.
All about stationery. Like when
you make pencil cases for your stationery.
Tape.
Washy tape, as John calls it. That's very panto, isn't it? Washy.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy tape. So, here we have our sewn side panel, and then you've got your little peekaboo underneath.
I like that, it's playful.
So to actually make your cathedral window, what it tells you to do is to mark every 5 centimetres, which is effectively that, because that's about 2 inches. I thought that looked a little bit too narrow, and when you look at the picture in the book, it actually looks longer. So I marked every 10, should we say. So effectively, where...
Every 2 squares,
Every 2 squares. So a bit difficult to see on dark, but I can tell you it does actually work. So what you actually do is you mark those particular points, and then you do a little stitch just to hold those. The reason being, once you've got those holds, you then take your iron and you press this fabric back to make your little window.
And it will peep through.
Yeah.
Like this.
Probably better on the other side, actually, because you've got more fabric there. That's better. There we go. You can see it better. So that peeks through.
This creates a lovely little window.
And this is hand sewn, but you can actually machine stitch if you want it. I would say it says to hand sew, but I would say for a bag, I'd probably machine stitch it because it makes it more robust, especially if it's on your shoulder and it will rub.
Would you use the little mini iron for that?
Yes.
Is that quite tricky?
I haven't got that. That's another piece of my kit I want to get. But the mini iron would be great because, yes, with the iron, of course, you do that with an iron. But with mini iron, you can really get down.
To just press.
Really get down.
It's like with toy. Get down.
Get down.
Let's find if I don't know if I've got the mini iron here, but we'll get one. We'll get one to show you.
Find one.
But basically, we have this Clover mini iron, and it's great for toy making. Jo Carter quite often uses it if you want to make little clothes maybe for your toys and dolls, but also for that, it's really great for little small fiddly intricate bits because you can just get in. It's got a tiny point on it, a little adapter. Oh, we've got it here. I can show you, as if by magic. Thank you.
Ooh, lovely.
There we go. Got a shiny new one.
It looks like a little scalpel.
It's tiny. It's really small, tiny. But it's great as well for patchwork if you want to do, if you're pressing little seams, and also if you don't want to get the ironing board out, you can just pop this on your. You get a rest there as well to lay it on from Clover. And then this is the adapter tip that you've got in there. It really is just the shape of a normal iron, but much, much smaller.
It really is tiny, isn't it?
And then you can take that out. I know it's a bit shiny, sorry, hurting your eyes. And then we've got a round tip that's like a ball, and we've also got a slightly larger one. So they're great for toy making and things like that, and great for fiddly little intricate bits like this cathedral window.
Fiddly intricate bits. So what I'm doing here is I'm just hand sewing those shut.
Okay.
So I'll just go across and then I can show you on one. So we'll just do one for now because I'm just aware of the time because I want to show you how to put the bag together as well. Because once you've actually you repeat this for the second panel, you make 2 panels. So we're just going to sew, and you would also sew these 2 end bits just on the inside because this has got a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Okay.
So just do it a little bit further in on the 1/4 inch. So we'll just sew one together and I'll show you how you make one particular window panel. So I've just knotted there, make sure the knot's not in the way. As you can see, I've marked with my lovely little pen just on the either side.
Yeah.
So you've got a line either side so you can match them up. Any loose threads you end up with, you can just snip them off. So just take through, about a millimetre or so, a couple of millimetres on either side. Just go through.
How many stitches would you do
I did
for it to
4,
be robust?
just to make sure that it's fairly robust.
Because it'd be very easy, wouldn't it, for that sort of
really
little
easy
ledge or lip to get caught, and then
that's why I think for something like this, I'd actually do 4, and then I would actually machine stitch it down because then it will hold. For something, because I think anything like that, it may come off.
You're using it. That's the thing.
You're using it, yeah. With a bag, you're actually using it, rubbing on your shoulder. I mean, you think about an ordinary bag, how that rubs. So something which you've also spent ages hand making it. The last thing you want to do
is for it to last a week.
Yeah, you'd be really irritated by yourself.
We've got a message in from Lorraine. Morning, Lorraine.
Morning.
Amy, the mini iron's great for the small seams and you can get bigger attachments. Yeah, it is exactly that. It's great. You can get the... we'll show you some attachments in the break, producer Hannah saying she can place them a little advert through so you can see those different ones. But Lorraine's right, there is one that's sort of spherical. It's shaped like a circle, like a ball, and it's really great for shaping flowers if you want to do little roses and things.
That's brilliant. Yeah, because the thing about an ordinary iron, and I use an ordinary iron, is they just, for small detail, it's really tricky, really, really tricky.
Yeah. Right, it's great as well, the sphere one for purses. You can shape the bottom of a purse if you want to just curve the, the sort of the inside bottom section of it.
Now, so as you can, what I like about this pack is it comes with contrasting thread. The contrasting thread picks out the lining colour. So for the damson, we've got this lovely, I called this my K frog bag. I love it, frog bag.
It's the bright lime green.
It's gorgeous. I love the colour combination together. It just works really well. And this damson is exactly the same tone as these colours he's got here. So I had so much fun playing with them. And with this particular one, the Alison Glass one, it's this lovely marine blue, which is the same colour as the marine lining.
Which is great for the lining.
And it works really well on the navy. It looks really pretty.
But it's enough to see it.
It's enough to see it,
It's not completely hidden, which I quite like.
So what you actually have is you go all the way along at those particular points, and you end up sewn on either side, and then these particular points, you end up with something like this. And then you go back to your iron and you press this back as far as you can. It does a bit, as far as you can. So it works really well if you've got a really hot iron. I don't think ours is particularly hot. We'll just have a quick look. So we'll give it a try.
We should have plugged this in for you, Jess.
I know, but hey, we can have it another time.
I'll grab it, this one. This is where this would be ideal, and from a safety point of view as well, if you're going right in close to your fingers.
Yeah,
this is,
exactly, the burnt fingers you get with anything like this.
We need to get you know the gloves that you wear if you use a hair wand that don't...
Oh, I don't have those.
Yeah, it's quite good it's to stop you from burning your fingers.
Because they do get you sensitive fingers when you're actually doing sewing. It really is a thing.
That's just on the bottom of your screens there, that graphic for the mini iron, $49.99, and comes with that regular adapter tip that's just like a very small iron, and then you can interchange different ones, as Lorraine messaged to say.
So I'm just giving that a really hard press.
If we're just seeing what Jess is doing there with this fiddly section.
So I've just given that a really hard press, and you can just see it's holding it slightly, still a bit hot. So like that. You press your back as far as you can without actually distorting the actual fabric.
You almost need to weight that down for a little while, don't you?
I mean, what I do when it's all nice and hot, what I do with a lot of sewing is I turn it that way around and let it cool down flat. I do that a lot. When I did the quilt last week with prairie points, you make a little triangle, fabric triangle, to actually hold the prairie point shape. Whenever I pressed it, I then turn it the wrong way around, so the actual back's facing me.
It gets the idea of what you want it to do.
And you just layer them up, and it actually helps it hold down. So just do that for a bit, and then you get your needle and thread, and you catch the points. So we'll just go in at the back. The back you won't see because it's going to be quilted, so it doesn't matter if that's a bit messy.
Okay.
So just go in every, I suppose, depending on how robust you want it to be, I'd say every centimetre, something like that, maybe a bit less. Just go in at the back and just catch it with a point. I've just done it with one stitch. You can do it with a couple, depending what you want to do, or of course you could use your lovely sewing machine. So your point, you can either use a thread which is the same colour as your contrast fabric, so get a navy, or as they say in the book, and as I've done for the bag, use the contrast because it gives it a little bit of contrast and it would look lovely.
A little bit of zing.
Yeah, and it just vaguely catches the light, just that little flash of blue. So we'll just do one side. What time is it? How long have I got?
We've got about 15-ish minutes. I'm going to quickly recap the bundles and then we'll come back and
do that, and I'll just do this bit, and then we'll go back to constructing the bag.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Right, so just looking at these different bundles this morning. So first of all, the book. This is what you would need to add to any of the bundles if you want the instruction for the cube bag. So this has got 25 different projects in there, all of those different quilts I was showing you, some of the ones we've had hanging up on our wall, but also we've got different bags. We've got little that little trinket that you can hang on to the edge, and all of your templates in there too. But like Jess was saying, really lovely, I don't want that to catch the light, there we go. It's lovely to have clear colour photographs and pictures, so sometimes if you're a visual person, which quite often I imagine you would be if you're a sewer, if you're into crafts and things, you like to have a picture to reference. So you've got the step-by-step instructions, but there's that bag that we're doing today. You've got the layout diagrams and all those photos of the step-by-step points, plus the finished projects. So $14.99, very popular book this morning, that one. Then we've also got 3 different bundles. So first up, I'll show you the Cafe bundle, which is the one that we had in the made-up bag. So this is that lovely bright, you've got the pink and the lime green, and then you've got the Cafe facet. This is the one that you saw ready made up in the bag. So you get 10 Cafe facet fat quarters. I'll just show you these. So you've got the pinprick one there with the ovals, the cut crystal, you've got your florals, you've got the big dots, you've got like a paving stone effect. And then you've got different colourways of those as well. But lots of lovely lime greens and forest greens, and then lilacs as well, and some aqua tones. And you'll have loads of these left over. In fact, 5 of the fat quarters you don't even touch, so you only touch 5, and you'll only use a 5-inch strip of each fat quarter, so great for stash building too. Then you've got 1/2 metre of your green and 1/2 metre of your purpley pink, and the pistachio green thread as well, which is what Jess was saying about the contrast. So you can really see there where you've popped those stitches in the cathedral window. Now we've also done some different bundle options. These are with 1/2 metres. So this is the Alison Glass bundle, and this is 3 metres in total. So you get 6 1/2 metre cuts. So you get your 2 Alison Glass prints. You've got your, this is a brand new collection to us here at Sewing Quarter. So you've got the blue and pink there. And this is the one where the closer you look, the more you can see. So you've got stars, you've got a little seahorse and birds, and then this one you've got lovely little bees and leaves. But you've seen Jess working with this morning. Then you get your linear look in your red. Then you've got an ivory and your two Macawa solids in the navy and marine blue, and also your thread. So $29.99 for that one, a very popular bundle. And those colours do go really beautifully together. Again, you'll have fabric left over there too. And the one that's been a bit left behind, because he's not been really looked at, I don't know why he's a he, but he is a he. He's not really been looked at very much this morning. So let's have a little look at this one. This is our neutrals bundle, but there is a little splash of colour from some Liberty, which is a real treat. Liberty and Tim Holtz, so it's a really lovely combination. This is the quilting weight fabric from Liberty in that lovely ditzy floral. So this is the Newland fabric. Then you've got your two Tim Holtz. So again, as I said earlier, he takes a lot of his inspiration from the from stamps and paper crafts and inks and things, and you really see that coming through in his fabrics as well. Then again, almost a twist on a gingham with that check there, and you can see that inky. It's almost like a newspaper print if you look very closely. But those nice sandy colours and taupes and neutrals, and then you've got your beiges here in your two solids from Macawa and a spot on. $35.99. I love that Liberty fabric. Look at that just once more. I'm just going to show you that. Really gorgeous. Here we go. So that's the finished bag in the K facet. I'll head back over to Jess so we can crack on with the actual assembly of the bag. Oh, that looks great.
So there we are. Thank you. So that's your window.
It does behave.
It does behave.
It will go back if you want it to. Let's just leave that there a sec so we can see.
So you then go all the way along and you repeat for the second panel. So you have two sewn panels like this. You then add a wadding to the back and you quilt however you want to do. I just did sort of stripes down here and a stripe there just to hold it.
Yeah, but you could follow these lines.
You can follow whatever you want.
Yeah,
because it needs to be across there. So it's your choice. You do whatever you actually want. So you made those, and you end up with two panels with wadding on the back. I know we've got our craft wadding here. I used another wadding, but you could use craft.
Whichever one you wanted, if you want some wadding.
I use this for loads of stuff, toy stuff and whatever you want, because you can just do loads of stuff with it.
It's
but I use
a really,
I like
pulling it apart.
Yeah, and it'll make your bag puffy.
Yes, you get a bit of a squidge.
Yeah, a bit of a squidge. I love the word squidge. That makes sense.
So there's loads of different waddings on the website as well. If you haven't been on the website before, again, if maybe you're new to us, we've got all, if you type in on the search bar on the website wadding, there's all different, so you can, you've got bamboo, you've got polyester, you've got all sorts of different waddings.
Bamboo,
so
lovely for quilts, for babies especially.
Really lovely and soft.
Really lovely and soft.
Yeah.
So I actually use this one. I'm not sure what this one was. This was actually just handed in the office yesterday on Thursday when I left. Use this one. It's nice and thin, so you could use it for like a summer weight quilt, but I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. I ironed it, smelled a little bit like bamboo, so it might be. It's got a really nice feel.
Spoiled,
yeah. So all my panels are actually sewn with this on the back.
All the instructions for this are in the book, so if there's any step where you go, oh, I think I missed that,
sure.
it is in this book here. So if you do wonder, the Jelly Rolls book this morning.
So should we just? I've got my photocopy here just so you can see. So once you've made your panels, and it shows you here how they should look. As you can see in the book, it's actually got them every two as well. You've got page 107, which will make it less scrappy than my scrappy copy. So yeah, so let's turn that way so you can see. So you make your panels like this, and then you do your two long panels, which are in your contrast. The only thing I would say about this one is it gets a bit fluffy, but it's fine once it's sewed together, you just wipe it off. So this is the lovely navy, which is the same as the cathedral window. As you can see, it looks really nice with this lovely marine blue. I think that works really well. It really livens up.
So you do the wadding and the quilting before we assemble the bag, obviously.
You do all the
each panel is assembled
each
in
four
isolation.
Panels, in isolation.
Yes.
I like that. So what I did, because I was short on time, was I decided to, when it came to make the scratch on the bag, I actually made two of the panels in the lovely Alison Glass prints.
Just so we can see how
Just so you can see how you put it together. So I'll put that one over there. And then, so I've made 4 panels, all the same size, 2 for this lovely damsel lining bit, and 2 just to show the lovely prints. Ignore the fluff on there, as I said. It's just the fluff from the actual wadding.
We've got about 8 minutes.
That's all right.
So you know.
Okay, cool. In the actual book, let's grab it again. It's got the instructions of how to actually put it together. So it tells you to sew 2 panels together like this, and then 2 there, and then sew them together. And then it says on the inside about folding them together. And you read that a couple of times, you're not too sure. So what I always say is get a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Washi tape, because you can take it off.
1 second, let's just show, just show you that, so you can just see there.
Yeah, so you think, not too sure.
Not sure quite how to do that.
But I'll show you quickly how we actually do it, and then you can see. But what I tend to do, if I'm not too sure, is I cut a piece of paper out with washi tape, because it comes off, and I follow the instructions on that, and then I go, oh!
Penny drop.
Yeah, so this is really, I would recommend that anyway, and then you end up with a little random thing.
You can use that for, what did you say, rice?
Rice, it looks like a little Chinese takeaway box, isn't it?
But you're just basically creating a miniature version of those panels, and then you can practice the assembly just so you know, you get an idea. Because if you're looking at that and you don't know quite how that translates from the page to a 3D version, it's quite a good way to just do that. Because like we were saying about whether you're a visual learner or not, sometimes you struggle to.
Yeah, I am definitely a visual learner, absolutely, 100%. That is my thing. So,
once you've seen it.
Yeah, once I've seen it, that's why magazines are so good. And we just leave that one open because we'll need to refer to it. So what we've actually got is, you can see here, we're doing 1 panel, which is that one. It's going to be this and that. Pin it along here, and then you sew that with a 1/4 inch. And then the other one is going to be the bottom one there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pin that.
They just want me to pop it on there. Here we go. We're just going to show you a picture so you can see.
There. So you pin like that. So you've got one like there.
This one here. So Jess is just creating these sort of L shapes.
So they look like that.
There we go. You can see that comparison.
So I'll just sew these 2 up, and then you sew them together, and then you start assembling it. So I'll just sew these very quickly. You sew them with a 1/4 inch.
So if you're, just to recap, just so it's completely clear where we're up to with this cube bag this morning. So you create 4 panels, so they will be like this. So this is an example of 1 panel. You've obviously got your 2, which would be, I'm going to just take the stuffing out of here so you can see the shape of the bag. You've got 2 that are in a solid. So that's 1 panel there that goes across the bottom. And then again there, another 2nd panel in your solid. And then you've got 2 that will be with that cathedral window effect that Jess was showing you here. But now what we're doing is just the assembly, and we're using all just plain strips of fabric just to show you how it comes together to create that shape. Okay.
That's that one. I'll just sew this one up. You do get fluff everywhere when you're working with woolling. It's very not wise to wander around with dark clothing, especially if you're going out fairly soon afterwards.
Not ideal.
Or get one of those, we always used to have when we had lots of cats, those...
rollers.
Yeah.
A sticky roller.
Oh, you probably do that a lot in theatre, don't you?
That or sellotape if you did, or like staged, you know, like gaffer tape, if you've got any of that.
Oh, yeah,
sellotape. Just quickly get all the fluff off.
Yeah, you wrap your hands in sellotape and you just sort of wipe yourself.
I got a really lovely scarf for Christmas, but it molts everywhere and it really puts me off wearing it. Because I think, I don't really want that all over my coat.
Wise move.
No.
Hang on, here we go.
It's tough life, isn't it?
It is. Oh, all these things people give me.
I'm crikey, let's.
So, sew those ones together, like this. Go to your book again.
Yeah, so the next page.
Hang on, let's just work it out that way. We're doing it upside down. So, we've got, that is that one.
Yeah.
This is that one, so they should be the reverse. Then making sure that your bottom seam lines up, these 2, because this is your bottom. If you turn that over,
yeah, I'll grab that.
You can see that's your bottom seam there.
There you go.
So you then pin these ones and you sew these 2 together. If your seams don't open up, don't worry. It's not that. It depends on how bulky it is, of course. As a general rule, or something like this, I'd open the seams up when you're sewing it because then it helps with the bulk. If you miss it, or it gets caught on the machine, don't worry about it.
Particularly with a thinner wadding, it's not
really going to matter.
Bulky.
No, exactly. I mean, if you wanted to, I know we sell, I think we sell bag making, I always call it Vaseline or something like that. You could actually construct that lesson and make it really boxy.
Yeah, if you wanted to have it quite rigid.
Yeah, a rigid sort of Japanese feel sort of bag. Right, so I'll just pin that. How long have I got?
You have got about 3 minutes.
Ooh, that's all right. We can show you how to do the side bits, because this is the bit where you're thinking, I'm not sure, this doesn't make sense. And we can easily show you, and then we can pin it. So, just
demystify.
So that.
That's what we're
Demystify. I love that word. That's the thing about these programs. It demystifies what you're actually reading, so you don't go, I don't understand.
But so often you get to a bit and you just go, you can read it and reread it, and sometimes you just think, I can't quite understand what that's asking me to do.
Yeah, and that's why I always, if I can't do that, then I mock it up, either in a small piece of fabric or
just some, some
piece of paper.
Or,
It makes life so much easier. Take pins out.
What was the seam allowance on this?
1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch.
That's the thing. I mean, it says in the book 1/4 of an inch. If you don't actually if you prefer working in centimetres, for magazines, I tend to work in centimetres. You can change it. It doesn't have to be. Hang on, it's being a bit funny. There we go. Go down. Because it's quite thick. Pull it through. If you get to a thick part, just slowly pull it through, and it'll come out. Like when
Do you know what?
quilts.
You could make a bigger version of this as a beach bag.
Oh, you could,
I think it's that sort of shape, isn't it? Where you know when you need a big bag because you've got a bulky towel to take to the beach with you or to the pool or wherever. You always need a big bag, don't you? So you could scale that up.
You could easily scale it up. That would be a brilliant idea. There we go. So, and then you end up with this. And then it tells you in the book.
Like a pinwheel there.
Yeah, like a pinwheel. It tells you to fold you're making the box shape now.
I'll just show you that just so we can
like
see.
That.
It's just catching up. Upstairs like, oh, there we go.
So that's like that. And then you fold it to make a cube with pointy corners, pointy ends. So you fold that to there. Hang on, let's do it that way around. Ooh. Make sure it lines up, give it a squish. Fold that to there, pin it and sew, and then you go round and round and round.
Ah, so you're going to pivot
it.
Yeah.
So, when you first do this, you're thinking, that doesn't make sense. As soon as you do it, you're like, that's genius!
Yes. Because what you create are these points, don't you?
Yeah, and it's a sort of pointy bit at the bottom of the bag. That's why I love this pattern, because it's easily transferable. You can think, oh, I love that as a design. Let's give that a go. And a different thing, you know, how could I adapt that? Could I make loads of different fabrics in canvas or something? And this foot pedal moving out. There we go. Right.
I just think, you know, you can never have too many bags.
No.
You just, especially now, carrier bags with always having to, you take your own to the shop and remember to do that, which we have all got better at doing, but if you've got reusable ones in your car anyway, you might as well have nice ones, like a shopper tote bag or a nice carry bag. Or...
So you have your sort of little bag which lives in your handbag, and then you have this to put all your shenanigans in.
Or someone messaged in once, they said, I need to make a bag for the bags. Do you know what I mean? Like a great big bag that they all sit inside. It's like, I love a bag for a bag.
That's something I'd say to my husband. He'd look at me like I'm completely mad.
Look, I just need another bag. Okay?
Why do you need another bag to put your bags in? Because I do. Do you not understand this? This is a foreign concept. So.
Like me in Tupperware, I've got so much.
Oh, Tupperware.
Honestly, it's just
my husband keeps all the takeaway baskets for Tupperware. So you've got one. You then repeat for the other side.
We're going to run out of time. We've only got about 40 seconds.
That's all right. I'll pin it
through.
So you then go for each side.
Okay. I can see the boxy shape of the base starting to form.
And then you go for the other side.
This is finding them long lengths together, aren't you?
They're long lengths together. So I'll just pin.
About 30 seconds.
Fine, almost there. Then the other side. Very quick, very quick, very quick.
We're just determined to get you through to the end.
I'm determined to show you this bit, because this is everything else in the instructions, but this is the bit you're not too sure about. And once you've seen it, you get it. But when you first read it, you don't.
This is where the pattern comes from this morning. 25 ways to sew jelly rolls, layer cakes and charm packs. Loads of quilt inspiration in here. Lots of different bags, and this is the cube bag. Half the stock of this one has been checked out already this morning. And we had loads of these, $14.99. But also, as I said, you've got lots of different quilts. You've got not just projects, but all of these different beautiful quilts. Okay, here we go.
So that's all pinned. So your bottom is like that.
Yep.
And you end up with your bag like that. And then you do the lining, reverse it, and then you add your handles, and then you're done.
Drop your lining in, off, and to your handles like that. There you go, you can totally see that's the same.
You can see it. And I love the fact you've got these sort of, with something like this, you can either have it as your lovely window, or you could have it with the block colours, however you actually want.
Brilliant.
There you go.
Time. Thank you very much, Jess. And you're backing it out. I can see fluff in the air.
There's fluff everywhere. I know I'm covered in it.
Doing a notebook cover.
Yes, that's right.
I'll see you shortly.
Okay.
Have a breather. Okay, so just looking at that book, that was the one we were using this morning. The bundle you can see, the bag you could just see on your screen, sorry, which is this one. This is the Island bundle. So a nice bright bag, a bit of colour, something to cheer you up, nice and cheerful. You can see that cathedral window detail there that Jess was talking us through this morning. So you get 10k facet fat quarters in that bundle. You'll have loads left over for your stash. You won't even use 5 of those fat quarters, and you'll also have some left over from the ones you do use anyway. And then ½ metre of each of those Macawa solids and your green thread as well. That's a Gutermann thread. So that's the Island cube bag. Then the Alison Glass one, has this been the most popular this morning? Oh, no. Tim Holtz has suddenly gone into the lead. Come on, Tim. Okay, right, I'll show you Alison first of all. So this is our director, Tim, is saying it's because it's a good name. So 3 metres, you've got 6 ½ metre cuts in here. So 2 of them are your 2 new Alison Glass fabrics, and then you've got 4 Macawas, so your marine blue, your navy, your ivory, and your linear look in red. $29.99, that's the one Jess was working with this morning. JKGC 99. And the surprise front runner, only a surprise because we felt we'd neglected it because we looked at those 2, obviously this one's made up and Jess was working with this. But go on, Tim, here we go, in the lead. So it's paired with a Liberty fabric. It's because you've got 2 big names in one bundle. So you've got your quilting weight, the Newland Liberty fabric, which is that beautiful ditzy floral. Then you've got your Tim Holtz, 2 of those, again in your neutral tones. Quite nice, perhaps, for a more masculine bag. And then your Macawas. JP GC 99, and then your thread too, $35.99 for that one. Do check out your baskets on all of those, particularly the Newland and Tim Holtz, which has gone crazily busy. And also coming up in that next ad break, we've got which one is it? Not the birthday block one, the new customer offer. So if you spend over £30, you've got a brand new offer. It's the first advert just coming up when I disappear in just a second. So you might want to watch that. If you're new to us on Sky, welcome, join the team. And you can get a free gift if you spend over £30 today. Now I'm back in just a minute. We've got loads of gorgeous fabrics to show you. So I'll see you in 3 minutes.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more. It's official, Sewing Quarter has arrived on Sky TV. You can join us on Sky 678 7 days a week. Add Sewing Quarter to your Sky favourites so you never miss a programme. And if you set a series link, you can catch up on our shows from each day at any time. If you don't have Sky, you can still join in the fun by watching us on Freeview Channel 78, on our website at sewingquarter.com and on YouTube. So tune in on Sky Channel 678 or on Freeview Channel 78. We'll see you there. If you shop with us for the first time between Wednesday the 17th of January and Thursday the 18th of January and spend £30 or more, we'll give you an amazing bundle of free gifts. The bundle includes the book How to Use a Sewing Machine by Marie Clayton. It's packed with essential information on how to choose and use your machine, plus dressmaking techniques and expert troubleshooting tips. You'll also receive our 23cm dressmaking scissors with stainless steel blades for precise cutting. A pack of 7 Gutermann sew-all threads is included too, in warm French cottage colours. These threads are ideal for both hand and machine sewing. Altogether, these gifts are worth over £30, completely free for you as a new customer. So be sure to search through our online store filled with sewing delights, or watch our shows to find your perfect new purchase from the 17th of January. But don't delay, this offer is only available while stocks last. Join us on Sunday when we'll be joined by the fabulous Angie Atwood, who will be demonstrating the hugely popular Storm at Sea quilt. Angie will talk you through creating Lynn Goldworthy's beautiful Storm at Sea quilt, featured in issue 55 of Love Patchwork and Quilting magazine. Lynn's design uses foundation paper beating diamonds and triangle cornered squares for a fresh take on the traditional quilt. Our exclusive Sewing Quarter kit includes a gorgeous array of solid coloured fabrics to create a rainbow effect of jewel shades, from deep purple and red through vivid yellow to jade green and turquoise. So don't miss this show at 10 a.m. on Sunday the 21st of January with Angie and me, John Scott, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.
Good morning, welcome back. If you've just joined us, we've just had a lovely hour with Jess Entwistle making a Quirky Cube Bag, and she's back again at 11. We're doing a notebook cover and a tablet cover as well. So perhaps if you've got one for Christmas that you need to keep safe, then we'll be doing that at 11. But this hour, you've got me. I'm Amy Burrows. I'm here with you for the rest of the morning, and we're going to be showing you some gorgeous fabrics and also some a really great bundle that we've got on offer for today only for this Elna sewing machine. So we're already down, we've only got, well, less than 10 of these in stock now. We're down to 6 of these sewing machines. So this is a bundle for today only. And what we've done, the Elna 540, Elna is our home brand here at Sewing Quarter, so these are the brand of machines that we always have here on the show. I think that says a lot probably about what we think, you know, of the brand, because we always have them here. It's what our designers request to use. And we use all of the accessories that therefore come with them. Now, in this particular bundle today, we've put it in with a walking foot because we find that most customers, when they buy a machine, if it doesn't come with this foot, this is the one that they will always add first because it's a really useful one to have in your cupboard or your drawer. Now, a walking foot is all about you use it with multiple layers, so for quilting. And what happens is, if you can just see here, these two little, I don't know if you can see, almost like little teeth there. And then you've got the smooth feed underneath. And what it does is it pulls that fabric through all the different layers at the same time, so it's nice and smooth. So rather than getting where you might get a shift in fabrics, if you've got different, perhaps you've got a cotton and then a wadding in the middle, because they behave differently under the needle of the machine, they'll shift and they won't lay flat and nice and sort of flush. But a walking foot takes that away. It helps to feed it through nice and evenly. And that's been bundled this morning with the machine. So this is usually £50 on its own. Today it's only 20 in with the bundle, so you're making a saving of £30. The machine itself, the 540, this is what Jess just used in the hour before. We'll show you some of the features that come with this machine. We've got a little slide to show you. So these are some of the technical features. So you've got the double lift that you can do with for the foot. So you've got lots of extra space there, perhaps if you are quilting. You've got a free arm, so great for dressmaking if you've got something a little bit bigger. You've got the accessory storage at the bottom. You've got the tension control, the thread tension control. You've got the LCD screen, which is a really clear, easy display. And you've also got loads of stitch options, lots of decorative stitches that you can experiment with, as well as all those traditional and utility stitches that you'll be using all the time. So obviously your straight and your zigzag and all of those ones that you use day in and day out. Let's just have a look at those. You can see that whole array. And this screen here, really easy to use. You just tap across. So you maybe use the number if you wanted to use, say, for example, if you wanted this lovely stitch there, the 23, you just change that to 23 on this stitch detail here. You program that in. Well done to everyone that's already popped these in their basket this morning. As I say, you are making that saving of £30 with that walking foot that's been bundled with it. And if it is in your basket, that isn't a guaranteed order until you've checked it out. So if you have got it in there and you're thinking you're going to treat yourself this morning, £468.99, you do need to check out your basket to make sure you guarantee you get that foot with it, and you will make that £30 saving, because that isn't something we've ever had on the show before. And it's not here every day. That's a little special for you. Talking of specials, we're also, Sewing Quarter, if you don't know, if you're new to the family, is part of the Immediate Media family. And what you might know about that brand is that it's a company who have all sorts of the biggest magazine names that you'll know in the country, so Radio Times, and lots of the specialist magazines, so the sewing magazines. So the ones that are relevant to us here at Sewing Quarter, we've got Simply Sewing, Today's Quilter, and we've also got Love Patchwork and Quilting. So those 3 magazines are all part of the Immediate Media family with Sewing Quarter, and that means that we can bring you special offers for subscriptions. If you head to the Sewing Quarter website today, you'll see that special offer there. Now that moves around that offer, so it might not be there if you can just see that scrolling window, but you can just click on the arrow across until you find that one. So where it says Learn More, you click on that and you'll see those 3 different tabs there. So Love Patchwork and Quilting, Simply Sewing. So that covers a lot of dressmaking. It's great if you're maybe new to sewing. You also quite often get free patterns with those. And Today's Quilter, so if you're passionate about quilting, you want to learn more, you want some inspiration, that's a fab magazine for that. Now the subscription offer today is that you get 3 issues of the magazine, so that will be the forthcoming issues that are coming out now. So it's not sort of old ones that you're thinking, oh, they're just clearing out the stock. It's definitely not that. It's all of the new editions coming out. Those forthcoming issues, you get three issues for £5. So an absolute bargain. You get loads of different ideas and projects in there. So it's a little bit like having 3 deliveries of books to your door, really, because you do get lots of inspiration from them. And lots of our designers as well, you will spot in these magazines. So like Jess was saying, she quite often does the lead story for Simply Sewing. She's currently working on issue 41, I think she said. Jo Carter does a lot of the toy designs for them. Loads of our designers pop up, and quite lovely for you to be able to see their designs in there and to put a face to a name, because then you'll see them on here. And sometimes they'll do some of their magazine designs here on the show, so you actually get to see them walking you and talking you through the process. So £5, 3 editions. You can just do that subscription online. You're only signing up for 3, so it's not, you don't have to fret about whether, oh, have I just signed up for a 12-month subscription. It's just those 3 for that special price on the website today. Okay, so fabric. We're a sewing channel. You can expect fabric. If you've not bought fabric from us before, we sell it in half-metre units. So we have a warehouse where this is cut off the bolt for you. So let's open up a half-metre just to show you. In fact, some of these are metres, not... This isn't half a metre. I mean, we'd love to be able to give you this much for a half-metre price, but we can't. I think this is a metre, so let me open up. So a half-metre is that much fabric. So as I was saying, this is cut off the bolt for you, so you can have it in half-metre increments. So if you wanted 3 metres, then you can order 6 units of fabric. If you wanted 5 metres of fabric, you'd order 10 units. So it goes up and up and up depending how much you want. And if you're buying it in one go, obviously that fabric won't be cut into half metres. It will be one big long length of fabric. So if you wanted a metre, that would be 2 units like that. And what we do advise is that if you're buying over 1.5 metres of fabric, you're best to give the call centre a ring, and the number on your screens, 0800 112 4433. So for those multiple units of fabric, you're better to do that than online. Now you also get it delivered to you in our Sewing Quarter box. So because we've always got new people joining us, this is what we got loads of comments on our packaging. Really lovely. We haven't actually, there's not actually one in here, but the cut fabric will come to you in a delivery like that. And then inside it's all wrapped in tissue paper with a little Sewing Quarter sticker on. So you do feel like you've treated yourself to a nice little present. Or if you wanted to buy your, send someone a gift of some fabric, perhaps if you see something and you think, oh, my friend Jean would love that, then you can post that to Jean in the box, and you know it's going to be beautifully wrapped for you. So let's start with the fabric that I've got on the desk then. So as I was saying, sold in half-metre increments. This is a beautiful fabric. It's sort of, it's from the autumn, it's from Dashwood, but it's from an autumn collection. So it's got really lovely clouds and rain. And I love the colour palette in this. You can see with your mustards, navies, and then you've got that mushroomy colour as well. This is from the Autumn Rain Cloud collection. Now, the Dashwood ranges, we don't get, again, so what the situation is with those is Dashwood move on. So they move on very quickly onto they'll already be onto their next fabrics. Lots of our designers work with these fabrics. But what we have, the fabrics that we have from them from this collection, that's all we've got. So once it's gone, it's gone. We don't get it back in stock. So if you're looking at this and you do like it and you do think you want to add it to your stash, it'd be lovely maybe for a bathroom blind, or I was thinking maybe a swimming bag, because it's sort of connected, isn't it, with your rain droplets, or an anorak. You could Odacoat it, make a little anorak or something like that. That would be quite fun. So that's the Dashwood Rain Clouds. I'm going to do a bit of a passing job today. I love your floor manager. So we've got onto a peachy one. Again, Dashwood. So this one here, I'm going to skim through all these fabrics quickly because we've got about 40 different fabrics to show you, and then I'll go back depending on what ones you want to see. We've got so much choice, so there's something for everyone. This is your stripes with those sort of diagonal points there. Again, you'll see the same sort of colours and those peachy tones and that ochre and navy that was apparent in the autumn clouds as well. So great to mix and match. These are a great weight for quilting as well if you've not worked with Dashwood before. They're a nice quality cotton. Next up, pop that on there, we are on to owls. This is one of producer Hannah's favourites. Everyone loves an owl, what's not to like? Really lovely, look at that. So the ochre background again, just as an example of how you could mix and match. Those colours do team in really well with the Dashwood collections. They look a bit sleepy, those owls, don't they? Can we look a bit more? Can we look a bit closer? Let's have a little look. There it is. Again, that's not quite a nice playful print, perhaps if you wanted for a children's project. Maybe you could make a little toy owl out of the owl fabric, double up on your owls. £6.50 per half metre. Then we've got another Dashwood onto, oh, look at this. Isn't that lovely? So you've got your little, again, you've got the ochre detail coming through and our little dog there. The Dashwood rain dog. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You could make a raincoat and because it's obviously got the little clouds and water droplets, and then you could Odacoat it. I just said I was just saying earlier, I picked up a new puppy on Saturday. We've never had a dog, so that's quite new to us, and we're doing all the obviously training, trying to get it well behaved. But a nice little raincoat, wouldn't even need much fabric. He's a Maltipoo. He's literally about that big. He's called Teddy, and I'll have to get a picture to show you tomorrow. He's really, really cute, really, really squishy. Can I not bring him in? Can we make him a raincoat? My sister's on dog sitting duty today. Babysitting duty, OMAD 56. I'm shocked how much puppies sleep. I had to Google it because I thought, I'm not sure if he should be sleeping this much. 20 hours a day apparently puppies sleep for, so I'm not going mad. I was like, are you meant to be sleeping this much? Are you not going to play with me? He wakes up, plays for a bit, eats some food, back to sleep. It's quite a nice life, isn't it? A bit like a baby really, isn't it? We've got another little dog fabric here, and incorporating the owls on this one here, what you see is a combination. They're saying upstairs, there I am with my puppy and my owl just on my shoulder there. I don't know when I'm getting an owl. I don't really like birds, so I probably won't get an owl anytime soon. But I'll take the flowers. I'll take the flowers and plants. A nice little. I need to put my hair on top of my head like that. I'm asleep and the dog's awake. That's in reverse, because my dog's definitely always asleep. WVAD 58. It does almost look like it's been stamped on or hand printed, isn't it? Because you've got that mottled effect there on the hair. I'm losing some of my hair in that little picture there. But as well, if you wanted to fussy cut, you could take a small section of that. That would be lovely maybe for a little coaster, or you could do a purse. Next one, still on Dashwood. You can tell from the colours. So again, we're on an ochre background. This has got some nice charcoal detail in it. This to me is really lovely for cushions or for something sort of in the lounge to add a splash of colour. Whereas Hannah upstairs, our producer, is saying she immediately thought of bag making when she saw that. £6.50 per half metre. Now, as I said with the Dashwood fabrics, once they're gone, they're gone. We don't get these back in stock. So we've only got 2 metres of this one left in stock. If you do like this one, you will need to check out your basket. It's an incredibly popular print. That's the autumn rain flowers. Then we've got incorporating a little bit of sort of a spearmint colour. And then you've got a pastel pink again on your ochre. I love that you can interchange these if you wanted to. This one here is from a different range from Dashwood. So this is from the Harvest Wood collection. It's a bit like Blossom, isn't it? MYAD 27. We've got a message in from Sue. Morning, Sue. Hi, Amy. Lovely to see you enjoying the shows. Would love to see a pic of your new pup. Sue, don't even get me started. Tomorrow, I've got videos. I've got so many pictures on my phone. I'm going to need a new memory card on my phone. So don't you worry. I can definitely get a picture. I'll show you tomorrow morning. Very exciting. They're just, do you know what I love? They're always pleased to see you when they're not asleep. When you come downstairs or in the morning or when you come home, they're so happy to see you. He just bundles over to me. Oh, I love it. I'm getting carried away talking about Teddy. Oh, we haven't got this one upstairs. Oh, let's take that one off. That one's already gone. Okay, so our next one. So we're going back to our sort of wildlife and animals here. This is really lovely for if you want to do a children's project. Perhaps if you're making something for a children's room, so cushions, or if you want to cover the bin and some lampshades, maybe have a running theme through if you're decorating. Or dressmaking, you could make some really cute little dungarees or a little top or jacket, or maybe a backpack if you've got a little explorer in the family. But you can see you've got lovely little bird details. You've got your trees, you've got your foxes. What do you think that is? A bear? Generic bear. Oh, apparently John thought it was a raccoon. Oh, and more owls. We've got owls again. I think that's a bear, but I mean, I'm not sure what sort of bear. But the fox is bigger than the bear, so the scale there is the issue. I don't know. But anyway, it's fun. It's meant to be fun and games, and that's what it is. The Harvestwood Animals fabric. FOAD06, great for storage, if you wanted to make storage tubs or any of those, you know, like sort of those big bucket type shaped storage caddies. That would be nice for that, keeping all your toys in one place, particularly if you've got lots of stuffed toys and animals and things, you could pop in a big storage caddy. Again, $6.50 per half metre. And if you're a new customer here today at Sewing Quarter and you've never bought from us before, if you spend over £30, then you'll get a whole free gift that's worth over £30 as well. So you get a thread, you get a book and some scissors. We'll show you a picture of that in a sec. So if you like any of these fabrics and you want to buy sort of multiple units of it because you're going to be making maybe curtains or something, then you'll get the free gift. Hedgehogs. This is a really popular fabric. So you've got your oranges and pinks in this, and then you've also got your spearmint greens. It's an unusual background colour as well. It's kind of a charcoaly grey, but it's quite a warm charcoal. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that would be the way I would describe it. Oh, that's a good idea. Producer Hannah said you could make a doorstop, and then you could use those pellets, couldn't you, to weigh it down? Just because it's got that speckled effect as well, it's quite nice. Again, that looks like it's been printed on or stamped on. That's the hedgehog. Then we're on to strawberries. Oh, they're acorns. I thought they were strawberries. They're going upstairs, Amy, they're acorns. Well, I thought they were strawberries, but they do look like acorns as well. Yeah, don't come food shopping with me. Can we eat acorns? Okay, these are acorns. Because obviously it's from the Harvestwood Autumn collection. So we're not going strawberry picking. We, you know, those acorns are falling from the trees, but you can also make them into jam if you want. Not ideal, but there you go. There's our acorns, again in that colour palette. With your, again, picking out, the same as the hedgehogs actually, with the orange, pink and yellow. QBAD49, $6.50. But you could use that for some garden projects. So perhaps if you wanted to make a kneeling pad for the garden, and now I know they're acorns, I can tell you the gardening things. Or you could do table mats or a table runner for the garden. Lots of lovely things you could make. Or you could make a little carrier to take strawberry picking. Now we're on to squirrels. Now just checking, these are squirrels. They're not raccoons or bears. Okay, here we go. So this is the last one from the Harvest range. My granddad absolutely hates squirrels. I'm going to just tell you a quick story about this. So he really doesn't like squirrels. He's got a thing about them ruining the grass in his garden, and it really, really bothers him, and he tries to get them all off the fence. He really doesn't like them in the garden. So we went away last year for a weekend in Norfolk with all of our family. My nan and granddad came, and we found this light-up squirrel in the shop that changed colours, and it went really bright blue and green, and we hid it in his wardrobe at night. So when he got in his bed, he was like, what's that flashing light? He opened the door and it was a flashing squirrel, which he absolutely hates. We found it in the morning. He strung it up on the banisters as if he'd hung the squirrel. He's not a fan. But if you do like squirrels, we've got a squirrel fabric this morning, and I'm not condoning hanging up toy squirrels, but if you do like squirrels, we've got this print this morning. Again, with your greens and oranges and your charcoals. We're quite into practical jokes in my family. We're all a bit mischievous. And I've also got a fabric here from Dashwood, which we didn't think we could bring you because this is from a different collection, but we have managed to get some in for today's show. Very limited in stock on this one. This is from the Autumn Rain, which is what I sort of kicked off this hour with. We've only got a metre of this left in stock, and once it's gone, it's gone. So if you do like this one, someone will have to be quick. I'll just quickly show you that on the navy background with your leaf detail there. TYAD06, and we won't get that back. But just in case someone fancies a metre, do check out your basket on that one. You have to be speedy, quick work. Now, of course, if you are new to us, just in terms of checking things out, you can do that online on the website, so you can always add things to your basket that way. And as you go through, underneath the live feed of today's show, there's a shopping list of everything that's shown on the programme. So from 8 o'clock, those products will go live, and as we go through, obviously more products are added. So these fabrics will be added as I'm talking about them. Then you can add them to your basket, check them out on there, and then it's obviously a guaranteed purchase. And P&P is capped at £2.95 a day, so you won't be charged twice. Or you can always ring the call centre. It's a UK-based call centre. They're very happy to answer any questions you might have. The number there on your screen, so if you would rather do it on the phone, then you can always do that too. Oh, we've had a message from, an email. Who was that from? From Anne. Morning, Anne. Anne May. Morning, Anne May. Double-barreled. She says, good morning, Amy and team. Good morning, Anne May. Oh, she said, thank you for the distraction of sewing quarter. I'm waiting for a phone call to see if was it a granddaughter or grandchild? I'm not even sure. Waiting to find out when they've been born. So I bet you're waiting in anticipation by that phone. Oh, that's so exciting. I bet have you done some makes? I bet you've made some. I wonder what you've made, whether you've got bottle holders or bottle bags or clothes or a quilt. Oh, that's lovely. I'm glad, at least it's a distraction of some sort. Let us know if you have a girl or a boy. And if it's your first grandchild, we love pictures. Babies and dogs are always welcome pictures here at Sewing Quarter. Okay, so on to some ginghams. So, first up, this is a new gingham collection here at Sewing Quarter. So this is a navy gingham. They always remind me of school uniforms, you know, the summer dress that you always have at school. So great if you want to make a little matching bag for them to take swimming, or it's a school bag or a book bag, or a notebook cover. So this is a woven gingham, not a printed gingham. So I'm just going to show you the back of this. It's a really lovely soft cotton. If I just show you both sides, where this is woven, you've got that reversible. You're not going to just have the print on one side of the fabric. Great price, £3.99 per half metre, so maybe if you're dressmaking with it. Navy's really smart. Oh, you could make a shirt. Our floor manager was going like this to me. I was like, is it my microphone? But he was saying, no, you can make a shirt out of it. That's a good shout. Thank you, Chris. I was honestly going, what have I done? I've ruined my microphone. Yeah, you could have a shirt. Okay, now we've also got a pink version of that. So I always wished my school uniform was pink. I was green. Junior school and senior school. That's not very lucky, is it? I always wanted to have a pink one. So again, you've got that woven gingham, so you've got it on both sides. I always think as well, lovely for tablecloths. Quite a traditional feel, or if you wanted to do, if you've got maybe a hamper, you want to line the hamper and maybe have a little sort of quilt to take out with you for picnics and things. £3.99. Loads of the pink one going in the baskets. I think because of the price point, it's great value fabric per half metre. PCJQ54, and a popular print for dressmaking as well. Then we've got a paler blue. It might be worth if I just show you the navy in comparison, just so you can see the two side by side. Thank you. Just so you can see the difference there. So this is the blue, this is the navy. Obviously that's much darker. Oh, is that making your eyes go funny if you look at that too much? There's the light blue. CIJQ14, £3.99 per half metre. And again, that's the woven gingham, so you can just see that there on both sides. So really lovely soft cotton, I have to say. Now here we've got a sort of a bigger check. These are good for, these would be great for shirts actually, or pyjama bottoms. Little shorts or some pyjama sort of trousers or anything like that. But you've got the pink and the blue teamed up together. And again, this is woven. SNJQ47. £3.99 per half metre. Maybe if you wanted to do his and hers pyjamas, then you've got a green and blue here as well. There you go. So that's the green and blue. Again, the same check, but in that different colourway. All of these, £3.99 per half metre. So if you want 2 metres, then you just order 4 units of fabric. JKJQ49, which is the most popular gingham at the moment? Lots of people with it in their baskets. I would advise checking out on those just because they're very popular. Lots of people buy it, and lots of people buy more than half a metre, particularly for dressmaking. Which colour is the most popular though? Oh, this one's gone straight in. JKJQ49, so it's a slightly larger gingham. Blue gingham as well, always reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy always has that gingham dress, doesn't she? In the blue. Okay, so those are our ginghams. Then we're on to Michael Miller. So I'll start with these two. So we've got 2 different colourways of this. So these are an American-based studio. So there's Michael Miller and Kathy Steiner. So obviously the two, no, let's get that right. Michael Steiner and Kathy Miller. So the combination is Michael Miller. And they set up in 1999 in America. They started in Michael's apartment. And then now they're obviously is sold all over the world. It's a sort of a studio where they really like to have new designers working with them all the time. And we've got the 2 different colourways here. So first of all, I'll start with the one with the rose. So this is the cornflower in rose. Let's open that out a little bit more. I think they're arguing upstairs over the background colour of that. I think that's again that charcoal sort of colour. And this reminds me a little bit of the you know the flower, is it dandelion that you blow when you blow the what are they called? So it's cornflowers, so kind of similar. But then you've got the cornflowers in another colourway here. And this is so this is on a navy background. We can be sure about the colour background on this one. And a slightly brighter pink in the cornflower. Florals are incredibly popular here at Sewing Quarter. £5.99 per half metre. FKEQ80. Now some more Michael Miller fabrics. These are fantastic as blenders or perhaps as backing fabrics or as the lining for things if you want to use them, if you want to mix and match them with a busier print. So we have, let's just check, 5 different colourways in this stars fabric. And as I say, it is perfect as a blender. So I'll start with the pink. Okay. So there's only 20 metres of this left in the company at the moment, but we cut metres and metres of fabric every day. So although that might sound like a lot, that will go quite quickly, and there's no guarantee if or when we'll get this back in stock. So imagine how many people, particularly now we're on Sky as well, the meterage has really rocketed up. So if it is a fabric that you like, 20 metres isn't a huge amount that we've got in stock. So particularly for those lovely, you know, it's a really great fabric here to have in your stash. This really reminds me of maybe a little girl's bedroom. If you wanted to do cushions, or maybe, again, if you wanted to have a running theme through there with storage caddies or curtains or blinds. You could do a little laundry bag. You could cover the lampshades, loads of options. But it's got that nice playful feel to it with the stars. I like that one. Then we've also got it, I'm going to keep the pink there just to show you with the grey, if you wanted to mix and match these. Oh wow, only 3.5 metres of the grey left in stock, so extremely limited on this one. This one's called Dusk. I would call that sort of a slate grey, and it works really beautifully with the pink, because the stars in this are actually pink. I don't know if you can see if they look, I don't know if they look white on your screens, but they are pink. And you can mix and match those. So you could do a reversible bag or a reversible cushion. The pink one is called Dawn. So if you're looking for the word pink, this one is actually called Dawn. This one is called Dusk. I really like both of those. I think they work really well together. And then moving into some other colourways, again in this stars fabric. Just shimmy those over. Then we've got blue. So you've got your marine blue. This has got the a bit of a nautical feel to it, because it's got your red and navy and then your white as well in with that marine blue. Sprinkled stars. They do remind me a bit actually of those sprinkles that you put on a cupcake. We daren't talk about food here until we're off air because it's just torture. Then we've got a lime green. Again, I'm going to just keep those in so you can see them together. The lime green's got some orange detail in the stars here. Just add a nice bit of, it's nice as well sometimes to not have a completely plain solid, rather than using a spectrum solid maybe as a lining or as a backing or as a blender. It's nice to have something with a little bit more interest. And I will just keep the red in there as well to show you. The red works particularly well with the blue. The red is Hannah's favourite. Lovely. It's sort of, that reminds you of America, really. It's got that sort of theme. It's got the stripes as well in the stars and stripes. I'll just show you the blue and red without the green in there, because those two do work really well together as well. And for dressmaking, you can make lovely little, some nice little outfits for children out of those. EKEQ65, that's the red, and the blue is on the bottom of your screen there. Nice useful fabrics to have in your stash. Oh, we've just had a request to see the circle cutter. Of course. If we've got it, so basically, cut a long story short, the circle cutter came back in stock this morning. We got confirmation of this at 7:30 this morning, and we wanted to get it straight back on air because it is so popular. You will have already seen it this morning at 8 o'clock, so it will be at the top of the live auction. But I'm just going to, there's a few bits and pieces that go with this. So bear with me 1 second. I'm only too happy to show you the circle cutter, trust me. This is one of my, oh, Sue, morning Sue. If you saw it underneath today's auction, it is there. If you wanted to see it in action, then I can certainly show you that. So we're just going to get a cutting mat. So basically, the circle cutter, if you've never seen this before, this is all about cutting perfect circles. So these are the ones I did this morning. Perfect every time. You don't need to draw around a dinner plate. You don't need to use a stencil or a template. You can just cut those circles straight off the bat, and you know that they're going to measure the exact diameter that you need them to. Great for layering up, imagining that these are in different fabrics if you wanted to create, patterns, and quite often curves scare people a bit, or circles do, because it's difficult to get that precision. Now this is from Fiskars, so it's a brand that we know and love and trust for blades and for cutting. So great for scissors. And let's just grab the mat. So we'll start first of all, I'll show you the actual ruler itself. So it comes like this. Obviously it's a transparent plastic, which is great because you can see straight through it. So if you want to cut the circle on a particular area, so you're fussy cutting, it means you can see the fabric underneath and you can choose the exact positioning where you want to lay it. There's a line here and this cross in the middle. I don't know if you can see it if I hold my hand. Can you see that cross there? Maybe if I hold some fabric behind it, there you go. And that's where you line up the fold of the fabric, and then you use these channels to run a blade through to create the perfect circle. And because the fabric's folded, it then opens up from a semicircle into a full circle every time. Now, these channels, you fold your fabric in half. I've actually used quite a lot of that, so I don't know whether to do a different bit. I'll have to do a little one. We'll get there in a second. Don't mind me. So we pop that on there on the fold. You place the cross, as I said. It's all about the precision and the cutting, and also from a safety perspective, I'll just talk a little bit about the blade and the cutter itself. So this comes with it. This is your cutter. It comes with a cover, so it's obviously as a safety feature anyway. But the blade you can just see in there you can't touch it. It's not possible to until you apply pressure. So then it's engaged when you push that down, and then it becomes accessible. So that's what's going to come into contact with the fabric. But it's completely safe, otherwise that's completely flush and flat. Then you'll also notice those two notches, if you can just see there, that's what slots into the channel on the ruler itself. So once that's in place, it doesn't wiggle around, you know it's going to be completely secure. Then on the top, you've got the this twizzle feature. So you can turn it, which means if you're having problems with dexterity, or maybe you've got arthritis, or you don't want to apply too much pressure, this will move with you as you push your hand around. So you place those two. They're laughing at me upstairs for using the word twizzle. I think that's a good word. What's wrong with the word twizzle? It's a technical term. Technical term. You get your Twizzler, you put your Twizzler in the channel, and you just pop those two notches in the, you choose one, so obviously you can pick your size from the bottom. Then you can apply pressure either with a flat palm, or with you can sort of pop your hand around it. And you'll see what I mean about it's good that it curves with you, because you don't have to worry about sort of twisting. If it didn't, what would happen is, imagine that this is just on here, you'd have to really sort of go with it, but it just goes because it twists, because it twizzles. See, the twizzle's a good word. So then you can take your circle out from underneath. You've got your semicircle there. If you're doing semicircles, great, but you've actually got that full, complete circle there that's perfect every time, and then you can layer them up with different size circles if you want to. Really simple and easy to use. Obviously, just use a cutting mat so you don't damage your desk. Great for applique. Great if you want to just add some detail on something. Great for quilting. Maybe if you're doing a quilt where maybe you've put off a quilting project that uses curves because you just think you can't face the cutting, and with a rotary cutter, it might get a bit fiddly. Or maybe you're doing a round-based bag, or you want to do placemats or coasters that are circular. There's loads and loads of things you could do. But also today, this is bundled with a spare blade. So you get the blade anyway that you can see in there that I just showed you. Just when you apply the pressure, you can see that blade in there. And that sits in the top. I said earlier, we've used this so much, we've rubbed the Fiskars branding off the top of the Twizzler. So we just undo the top there, give that a twist around. You can see those little notches where it sits. Pull it out. Obviously, you can dispose of that. And in this bundle today, you also get a replacement blade. So that comes like that. And I'll show you how quick and easy it is to replace. It's really not at all scary. Obviously, imagining that this is a new one. You just drop it back in over where you can see that bit squidges in, and you just twist the top on. So that fits in there nice and snug and secure, and then you're ready to go. So Sue, I hope that explains what the circle cutter's all about. I love talking about the circle cutter because it's a great piece of kit. Obviously, you've seen that underneath the live auction today. $34.99, that's bundled with the spare blade, so you've got two there. If you're maybe using some new fabric from your stash and you think, oh, maybe I should put the replacement blade in, then that's a good option. And if you're a new customer and you spend over £30, then you get a free gift today. So this would be perfect for that. So Sue, if you've not bought from us before and you fancy that today, you'll also get, have we got a picture of that? There it is. So you'll get scissors, you'll get the How to Use a Sewing Machine book, and you'll also get those Gutermann threads, the Ring of Roses bundle, which has got lovely peaches and pinks and soft blues in it. And this circle cutter, as I said, we got it back in this morning at 7:30. We've struggled to get this back in stock because it always sells out. So if you have had your eye on that and you do want to check that out today, I would recommend doing that sooner rather than later. Hope that helps you, Sue. So let's carry on with some more Michael Miller fabrics. So we've got 3 different colourways in these. I'm going to just fly through these now. So first of all, you've got the purple. So you've got lovely, this is nice for spring actually, because you've got your rabbits, you've got your squirrels again. An armadillo? Producer Hannah said she can see an armadillo. Where? There. Oh, maybe. Maybe that's an armadillo. So that's it in lilac. Or an aardvark. Chris, the floor manager, saying it's an aardvark. Options. Then you've also got that in a turquoise colourway. I'm going to keep these out just to show you so you can see all of them. Again, this is being sold by the half metre. Cut off the bolt, so if you want a metre, you just order 2 units. So that's in Luna. That's this sort of turquoisey one here. So if you want to mix and match these, we've also got it in a bright pink. That's upside down. A lot of our designers have chosen to use the pink one in projects, so that's how you know it's a popular print. And that's in the raspberry, AXEQ04, $5.99 per half metre. As a whole collection, you can just see there you've got your pink, your turquoise and your purple. All the same price, just different colourways, with your squirrels, your rabbits and your armadillo / aardvarks. Lovely. Let's have a look. Should we do a bundle? This one. Let's see if I can reach it. I've got it. Okay. So we're going to show you some Heather Bailey fabrics, but I was just going to show you first of all a bundle that we've got this in this morning. So this whole collection is based on the theme of the Beatles. And we were saying this morning, we can't believe there's not a yellow submarine fabric. That would have been an obvious choice. But this Heather Bailey bundle is, you get 2 meters of fabric, so you get 4 different fabrics, ½ meter of each of those. First up, we've got these are kind of like a retro flower. ½ meter of that. So perhaps if you just want a little sample of the collection, you want to try a few of the different fabrics. Obviously, colour-wise, they all team beautifully together as they're from the same collection. You've got these stars there. Or we've got less than 10 of this bundle, so if you do like it, you will need to check that out today. It's definitely got a retro feel to it. You can see that sort of 60s vibe, can't you? This one's called Twist and Shout. And then at the bottom, not more armadillos, is it? I'm not sure what that one is. Blackbird, that one's cool. Oh, of course. So these are all inspired by the Beatles. We've bundled those 4 together from Heather Bailey. And just a word on our bundles, that if you do buy a bundle, say that's a 2 meter, let's see how many times I can say the word bundle in a sentence. If you do buy a 2 meter bundle, these will all be ½ meter cuts. So if you bought 2 of those bundles, you'd get 2 ½ meters of that, 2 ½ meter cuts, 2 ½ meters, 2 ½ meters. You wouldn't get a whole meter. So these are already pre-cut, ready to go. Oh, there's only 5 of these left in stock now. So KK, GC, 32, 31.49 for the Heather Bailey bundle. So let's offer you some Heather Bailey by the ½ meter, as you're liking that. So maybe if you don't like it, or maybe if you missed out on that bundle, if you're watching us on a loop on Sky. So I'll start first of all. It really has got a retro feel to it. I like these. So you've got the floral there on that mustard colour background. This reminds me of like retro curtain sort of feel. Nice for dressmaking. So this is the Filled Forever in gold. Next up, we've got the blue that we just saw. And you can see how you could mix and match those if you wanted to, because the colours overlap with those mustards. But this is the blue. Only 20 meters of the blue in stock today. So that's the Filled Forever in Midnight. everything we're showing you of this collection is everything we can get of it. It's a very popular range. So what we've got on air today is all we have in stock. So £7.99 per half metre. Then we have that in another colourway. So introducing more of a plum colour background there. Again with your navy and your mustard. Haven't seen this one as much at all. Well, in fact, I've not seen the Heather Bailey collection because I've not been here for a few weeks. Be nice for a wash bag or a makeup or toiletry bag. And also nice because you could fussy cut sections of that if you just wanted a flower, you know, in different sections. Next one, still on the Heather Bailey theme. We're on to our squiggles and twizzles. That's a bit of a tongue twister. So this one is on your cream background. This is Twist and Shout. Producer Hannah saying she reckons Jennifer Taylor would love this one because she loves these sort of ochre-y colours. So this is the Twist and Shout in gold, but we also have this in 2 other colourways. So you've got that in the blue or turquoise. That does look a little bit like a swimming pool, like splashes of little sort of waves in the water or ripples. And then you've also got it in the, that's the blue, you've also got it in the pink. Again, this is quite a nice, you could potentially, I know it's quite a bold pattern, but if you wanted to use that as a bit of a blender or as a backing fabric, say you've got, on the front, you've got the florals or you've got something even busier, just one whole section of that would work quite well. So you've got your pink, your blue, and then you've got your ochre colour there as well. All of those are £7.99 per half metre. So those are our twists and shouts. I feel like, let's twist again, like you've got to do a bit of a... I know that's a different song. I know it's a different song. I was just getting into it. So we've got the, oh, don't, they're laughing at me upstairs, still at acorns and strawberries. We'll skim over that. So we'll come to stars now. We've got the stars in blue. This is nice. I think this is lovely for, again, for fussy cutting, if you want to take particular sections. You could do a really lovely quilt with that, using the star effect and sort of taking that through. Maybe with a lone star. Maybe if you're using a Westerly reader and you really want to pick out some of the detail. Now, you've also got this in pink and red. I love red. I really do. Red apparently is the only colour that everybody can wear. Regardless of hair colour, skin tone, eye colour, apparently red is the one colour we can all wear that suits everybody. I've got some funny eyes looking at me in the studio. Chris is like, our floor manager. He's like, I'm not sure about that. I'm telling you. We had a colour expert come in when I was at Musical Theatre College, and she said that the one colour that everybody can wear is red. That was her job, to put people in colours. They're all laughing at me. Then we've got mustard as well. So this is in the gold. I'm going to bring in a red T-shirt for everybody to wear. All of you that are laughing at me, we're going to line you all up in red and see what you think. See, yeah. Oh, see, they're all telling me they actively avoid wearing red. Well, I'm telling you, red is the colour to wear. I might wear red tomorrow just to prove a point. So you've got gold, red, blue. Look, if we hold this up, Chris, you're going to have to come here. Come on, do you want to come and show us wear the red? He's shaking his head at me. No, doesn't fancy wearing that today. So those are your 3, again, from Heather Bailey. Are you sure? I can't interest you in coming in to wear some red fabric. No. Okay. Octopus we're on to now. This is Octopus Garden. Again, you've got that retro feel. Look at those, like the tentacles. Oh, it's upside down. Here we go. Look at that. Really lovely. You can just see here, then all of those tentacles sort of coming out. A really unusual fabric, something a bit different. YURW52, £7.99. The next fabric, reds, which everyone can wear, with pink, so maybe not with a pink. I don't know if everyone can wear pink. I don't really wear that much pink. There we go. So this is, you've got trees and hearts and lovely little lovebirds as well. This is perfect for Valentine's Day. Perhaps if you're thinking of making something as a gift for Valentine's Day, this would be a really lovely fabric because you've got those hearts and lovebirds there. Yes, you're right. It does look a little bit like a paper cut design when you sort of trim away those sections. LBRW78. Again from Heather Bailey. That's Norwegian wood. I really like that. I think that's lovely. Okay. Then we've got, are we back onto blackbirds in blue? Is that upside down? There we go. So you've got that lovely blue background with that mustard as well. Now we've got this in 3 colourways, so there seems to be a running theme here, doesn't there? There always seems to be a gold, a red and a blue, so we've had that in a few of the different prints. That's the blue. Now this colourway is my favourite in this of these 3. Really lovely plum colours here and also a pink, but teamed with that ochre, which is incredibly popular colour. It sort of has, although it's inspired by florals, it's also got a geometric feel to it as well. I think because of the angles of the twigs and the tails. And then you've also got it in the red and pink. There we go. This colourway is definitely my favourite. I love that. I think that's gorgeous. So the blackbird in red. FLRW92. Now we're just going to offer another bundle this morning. So all of these have been by the half metre except that Heather Bailey bundle that I showed you. But we've also managed to get this morning a Tanya Whelan bundle who we've not seen for ages. So I'm going to, it's really great for spring. It's got a lovely spring feel to it. These colours as well very naturally sort of make you think, they're nice and cheerful. It makes you think of, you know, it's coming out of winter and moving into something a bit more happy. So this really beautiful fabric, you get half a metre of each. I'm going to open this one as it's my favourite one in the bundle. So you get 2.5 metres in total. You get half a metre of that lovely budding rose there with the spot on yellow background. This would be lovely if you're making for perhaps a newborn baby. But you've also got this is the only way we can offer the Tanya Whelan today. We've got this teamed with another sort of spring-like, it's like a daffodil sort of yellow. Kind of got a bit of a green tone to it as well, though. Then you've got a spot-on green. Again, picking out those spots in the background there. And then we've also put 2 solids in with that. So you've got your a paler pink, and then you've also got the candy floss pink there as well. But these 2, your Tanya Whelans, that we haven't had on for absolutely ages. So you get 2.5 metres of fabric in total. Let me just lay these out so you can see them all together. And you've got your Macawas mixed in there too. Oh wow, loads of you already checked this one out. The bundle's really popular this morning. So this is a half metre. So you'll get 5 of those. Let me just fold that up. And let's see them all together. There you go. That rainbow of pinks, greens and yellows. Just some inspiration for spring. KKGC 22, Tanya Whelan 21.49. Now, another bundle of fabrics we put together this morning that we couldn't offer by the half metre, but we can offer in a bundle, is the Galaxy bundle. So this one here has got 2 really playful prints with sort of a countdown on. So imagine we're doing that countdown to takeoff. So you've got that on a white background and also a navy background. If I show you those 2 there. Really lovely for a children's project. Perhaps if they're into planets and the solar system and rockets and astronauts and all of those things, or maths. And then you've got your 3 solids with that there as well. So you've got your black, your pumpkin orange, and you've also got a mustard, which picks up lots of the colours in the Galaxy print in the numbers itself. KKGC 20, 2.5 metres. So again, I'll just show you what one of those half meters looks like. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Let's just have a look at that fabric. So you'll get 5 half-metre prints. So if you're a maths genius, that's a great fabric for you. Oh, we had a message in. Christine's messaged in. Morning, Christine. We might be able to show, we've sent a picture, so we might be able to show one in the next show. What was that? She's watching some cushions while snuggling up watching Sewing Quarter. What did I say? Did I say she's watching cushions? Did I say that? She's snuggling up watching Sewing Quarter whilst making cushions, eating strawberries that are actually acorns, and twiddling a circle cutter. That's what she's doing this morning. No, so she's enjoying the show. Oh, so she's you're a lollipop lady, but you're taking them, can't come in this morning because it's snowing where you are. We haven't had any snow here. Do you know, I had no snow over Christmas where I was. I feel a bit neglected, but everyone here's had too much snow, so they're all snowed out. But snuggling up watching Sewing Quarter is not such a bad thing, is it? So it's all good. We'll have to see that. We'll try and show that picture in the next show, Christine, in the next hour of your cushions. And we've also got a Dashwood bundle. Now, obviously, I showed you quite a few of these fabrics individually by the half metre at the top of the show. If you do like them together and you want to sort of mix and match them and you get pick and mix and add some to your stash, a really great way to do that. So you get 3 metres. You've got 6 different fabrics here. You've got your hedgehogs, your squirrels, your different leaf prints. You've got your wildlife there with the foxes and owls. You've got your blossom, and then you've got your acorns in that autumn theme. Again, from Dashwood Studio. And if you didn't hear me say it earlier, with Dashwood, they move on their collection so quickly. We're already ordering in the next collection that they're currently sort of designing and working on. So what we have of this is all we have. We don't get it back in stock. So if you do like the Dashwood and you do want to make something out of these fabrics, then now's the time to order, because it's sort of a miss it, miss out. If we won't have these back in stock. £38.99. These are all 8 half metre cuts. Oh, we've had a couple of messages from Tracy and one from Tina saying welcome back. Oh, thank you very much. It's lovely to be back. I genuinely really miss being here. I miss everyone. We have such a lovely team here as well. I miss all of you and your pictures and your messages. So in the next hour, Jess is back. In that last hour with her, we did the cube bag, but in the next hour, we're doing a notebook cover, and we've also managed to get back in stock the tablet, a keeper that you put in just to keep it nice and firm and rigid. So if you want to protect a Kindle or an iPad or something like that, we'll be showing you how to do that in the next hour. So Jess is going to be here in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Wrap up warm, get snuggly like Christine, and we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
If you shop with us for the first time between Wednesday the 17th of January and Thursday the 18th of January and spend £30 or more, we'll give you an amazing bundle of free gifts. The bundle includes the book How to Use a Sewing Machine by Marie Clayton. It's packed with essential information on how to choose and use your machine, plus dressmaking techniques and expert troubleshooting tips. You'll also receive our 23cm dressmaking scissors with stainless steel blades for precise cutting. A pack of 7 Gutermann Sewell threads is included too, in warm French cottage colours. These threads are ideal for both hand and machine sewing. Altogether, these gifts are worth over £30, completely free for you as a new customer. So be sure to search through our online store filled with sewing delights, or watch our shows to find your perfect new purchase from the 17th of January. But don't delay, this offer is only available while stocks last. Sewing Quarter is the UK's first TV channel dedicated to sewing and quilting. On air and behind the scenes, our team of top industry experts work hard to bring you tons of exciting projects. Whether you're into dressmaking, bag making, piecing, patchworking or quilting, you'll learn something new every day from our talented guest designers and fabulous presenters. Our online shop is packed with tools, haberdashery essentials and fabulous fabrics, from simple solids to designer gems. And with our 30-day money-back guarantee and single daily postage charge, you can shop with confidence. So tune in daily on Freeview 78, Sky Channel 678 and shop online at sewingquarter.com. Get ready for a day of sewing delights on Saturday the 20th of January. Join me, John Scott, and Becky Blease and Rebecca Reed this Saturday morning for not one, but two fantastic projects from Simply Sewing magazine. At 9 a.m, Rebecca Reed will be showing us the casual and chic carry-all bag, exclusively available as a kit at Sewing Quarter, and first seen in Simply Sewing issue 38. This easy-to-create bag is the perfect accessory for weekends away. And at 11 a.m, you'll be singing in the rain when Rebecca creates a charming raindrop cushion using a selection of pretty blue hued fabrics. It will be the perfect accompaniment to your favourite chair. So don't miss these stunning projects on Saturday the 20th of January, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Good morning, welcome back. I'm being spoilt today because I've got in my two favourite things, bags and stationery. And in this hour, we're doing stationery, well, notebook covers and also a tablet cover as well. So we've got a little stand as well to prop your tablet up against. So lots of lovely things and little things that you could have around the house to keep your stationery and your tablets and those little gadgets nice and safe and secure. But first of all, we've got something, we wanted to put it in the first hour. We'd run out of time this morning. We've only just got these back in stock. Now, this is a replacement blade for a 45mm rotary cutter. Now, this will fit into any rotary cutter that's 45mm. So you've also got a little case in there, I can open this, to keep it nice and secure, and you get 3 replacement blades. So these are always really popular. We get lots of requests for these, hence why we've got them back in stock, because they will fit into a 4.5cm or 45mm rotary cutter. They'll cut through multiple layers of fabric. As I said, you've got 3 in there. I won't open them because obviously those are sharp, but you can just pop them into the rotary cutter itself, and if you need to refresh those blades, sometimes if it starts to become a little bit blunt or your cutting starts to become a bit less accurate, or if you're going through lots of layers, or maybe you've got a particularly special fabric or something that you've saved, or a thicker fabric that you're not sure it's going to go through, a new blade is what you probably need to just change that, pop it in. £7.95, you've got 3 in there. And lots of people multi-buy these. In fact, already they're telling me in my ear, lots of people putting multiples of these in their baskets, just because you always need them. You're going to always need to replace that blade as you go through. 3 in there, 45mm, they'll fit into, we've been waiting for those to come back in stock, so we just thought we'd start the hour with them, in case you did want those this morning. And it's nice that you've just got that little case in there as well. Obviously, they're not going to be posted loose to you, are they, in the blades. RPGQ 41, £7.95. Now, I mentioned what we're doing this morning with our stationery and all of those lovely little gadgets, but also you're going to need a gadget to do your sewing. So if you are looking for a new sewing machine, we've got a bundle this morning that's teamed in with a walking foot. So we've never done this before. It's a 540 Elna sewing machine, and we've bundled it today with the Elna Even Feed walking foot. That normally retails at £50. Today it's only 20 bundled in with the machine, so you save £30 on that. We're already in single figures for this bundle today. And loads of different features. You've got loads of decorative stitches on that machine. Those are some of the technical features you can see there. You've got the LCD screen that's really easy to sort of navigate around and to pop those different stitches on. You've got your accessory storage at the bottom. You've got the thread tension control. You've got the free arm, but it's great for dressmaking, quilting, and obviously the benefit of that walking foot that we've added into that bundle today is that it gives you that even feed if you're quilting with multiple layers and you want it to go through nice and smoothly, trying to avoid any shifting of the fabric. You're always going to need a walking foot anyway, and often people will buy that separately as an add-on. So we're saving you £30 by popping it all in together. Special offer for today only, £468.99, never been bundled like that before. special, KTJC33 for the 540, which we've also got that Jess is using in this hour. She's been using it today, and with the walking foot. So also, if you've got any questions about that machine, you're not sure about something, or you want to ask something about the specification of it, let us know. You can email us studio@sewingquarter.com, or if you are purchasing one, you want to ask the call centre any questions, then you can do that too, 0800 112 4433. I said stationery, and stationery we shall do. So we are doing, first of all, we've got 3 different bundles this morning for this lovely notebook cover. Look at this. It's a little hanging notebook cover. So it is from a book, the pattern itself on the design, but you can pop your pencil through there like that. And then it's a notebook cover. So perhaps if you've got a sewing journal or notebook or a diary that you want to keep nice and safe and secure. I'm a diary person. I have to write everything down. I can't put it on my phone. I have to do it in the old-fashioned way. But as you just pop that through there, do you know the lovely thing about that as well is you quite often don't have a pen to hand, do you, when you want to write something in your diary or scribble something down? With that, it's keeping it all in one place, so you know you're always going to have a pen ready to go. So we've got 3 bundles for that. The bundle that one's made out of, I'll start with first of all. So you get a fat quarter bundle. You've got the that spot-on fabric there, but on a sort of a ticking background, or that stripe. Then you've got your daisies underneath. You get 4 fat quarters. Oh no, you get 5 fat quarters. 6, you get 6 fat quarters. Let's start again. It's magic, we keep adding new ones in. So you've got your green, then you've got your daisies on black. So it's 3 different prints in 3 different colourways. So you'd have plenty left over. You could make multiples or add some to your stash. Oh, I love that. I've got a dress in a very similar fabric to that in the daisy on red. And then teamed as well with 1/2 metre of the black solid. So you could use that for the lining if you wanted to. You could see how you could mix and match those in. And your black thread as well. Now you do also get wadding. Jess actually used slightly different wadding from her stash as she was making this at home, but you do get a great big bag of wadding there, so you'd have plenty left over, or to make multiple covers if you wanted to. So that's £19.99. Then the next bundle, let's swap these around. So this comes with a solid blue, so you get 1/2 metre of blue, and then your thread as well. And the fat quarter bundle here, you've got your leaves on navy. Again, you get 6. You've got your spot on with a nice sandy colour spot as opposed to a bright white, which makes a nice change. Then you've got your leaves on red, and that's a nice deep red as well, sort of a postbox red. Then you've got more of a plummy colour with your spot on. And you could see how you could mix and match just the spot ons if you wanted to, just because the spots are the same colour. Then you've got a nice ditzy floral there. And your final spot on the green. £22.99. Again, the big bag of wadding, I'll show you that here just so you get an idea of the size. All of these bundles this morning come with this plus your thread, so you're going to have some there for your stash too. Now we've got one other bundle as well. This is slightly different arrangements. So rather than the fat quarter bundle with 6 fat quarters, this is from Tilda, the Tilda Cottage collection. So you get 2 Tilda fat quarters and you get 2 1/2 metre cuts. So you've got the pastel pink and blue, lovely spring colours, and this is the one we've got limited stock on this. We already anticipate we probably won't have enough of these this morning. That lovely pearly blue colour, you can just see there the sheen on the thread. And I'm just going to open the fat quarters to show you. Oh, we can't open them, they've got a sticker on. But you can, I'll just show you the 2 patterns there so you can see. So you can just see with that sort of old-fashioned floral coming through there. And then again with your spearmint and your green. JJGC91, that's for the Tilda notebook. So you could mix and match those. Just be limited, we are very limited stock on that one. We can't bring you any more of that. So if you do like that one, that's when you probably will need to do an immediate checkout on your basket for that one this morning. I'm going to take this little notebook with its handle over to the other side. I feel quite snappy with this, Jess.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
And so tell me a little bit about this one. Where did this one come from?
This came from this little Mini Patchwork Projects book. There it is on the cover.
Oh yes, it's nice hanging up.
It's nice hanging up. I love little books like this because it doesn't take up much room on your shelf. It's got loads of little interesting projects, and one of the things there is there. One of the things I really like about this, and we can look at it later, there's the project with my little notes there, is with beautiful instructions, is right at the back. You have templates, including a pentagon and a hexagon, which are brilliant. I actually made what's coming up next, simply saying, made a ball, a pentagon-shaped ball. So it's nice to actually have that as a template, because you don't often see this one, but you see that. Yeah, I love that. And loads of sort of deep details and things in there, but I love these little templates in the back. It's really useful to have them.
Easy to follow? How did you find the book?
No, easy to follow, very easy to follow. And I just love looking at the pictures anyway. I love it.
There it is.
You can usually you can usually see a book. You might have seen the fabrics in shops a year or so ago. It's nice to actually see them in projects as well. And I think we might have done something from this one before. I vaguely recognise these bowls, but I'm not too sure.
This was the one that I picked out that I loved, because I love displaying. I love this, yeah. And I got my sister got a Polaroid camera. Really? And take lots of, those little prints that come out immediately.
Oh, I love those.
And we took loads at Christmas, and it's really lovely to just put them out and have them sort of on display. Yeah. And it's got a little with magnets there.
Really, I've never seen this before. I thought, I love that, because it's actually, I don't think we sell magnets yet, but we might do, I don't know. You actually make this, so you've got two bits like that with magnets, and they just pop this. I thought, it's a genius idea.
So it doesn't damage your photos.
No, it doesn't damage, or whatever you want. So I think,
fabric even, if you wanted to display, for instance, maybe if you wanted to take little bits of fat quarters or little blocks you've made, you could display them like that if you wanted to, couldn't you?
It's a really nice idea. I thought that was quite nifty. And then, of course, you've got all the different designs here for your bowls.
All your step-by-step instructions.
Yeah, with really...
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and I love that as an idea, as opposed to just shoving them in a box as you have them out. I had one of those growing up as a child. That was my little pin cushion. You remember those? Oh, the little pin cushion with the little Chinese faces. I love those.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, we had a red one, I think. I think you can still buy them in Chinatown. I know, it's gorgeous. Same prints running through as well.
I love that as well, the fabric. That's really clever.
It's really, really clever. So I like this book because it's got lots of little projects which you might not have done, and it's a nice way of building up your skill. It's a really nice way of building up your skill set. So we'll go to
Patchwork Projects.
Patchwork Projects. So we'll go to the book. What this tells you to do, there we go. What this tells you to do is it gives you the size instructions for your standard A5 book. Yeah. But some A5 books are thicker than others, so of course you need it longer. You might decide you want it fatter. I used a very fine wadding, so if you're using the craft wadding, you may want it slightly bigger because it's a bit puffier.
Yes, and it depends how you're going to print it and all those things.
So work out the sort of size of your book. And here we are. This is actually one of my books, one of my ones. So we'll just take it out.
You've got all your secrets and
I started by
in there, have you?
I have no idea. My sister gave me one from a firm that she used to work for, the lovely pink colour. Yeah, what's this? Different things to do with sewing quarters ages ago. So I actually use this, but of course you can use whatever you actually want and size it up, excuse the fluff, more fluff.
Actually quite nice as well. You don't necessarily have to buy an expensive book.
No.
Quite a nice way. If you just see a cheap A5 sort of journal book, as long as the paper's I think it's quite nice to have nice paper, but if the cover is a bit boring or, you could cover it with...
Exactly. And it's also a really nice, I like this one as a really nice idea to give a gift for someone, especially coming into gardening season.
Yes.
And
recipes as well.
Recipes. So it's a nice idea to actually buy them something like a little book like this, a nice pen, and actually make them a little case. And you can pop it in. I think it's a really nice little gift. And it's quite simple to make as well.
The other thing as well, if someone going travelling or they want a travel journal, that's really nice.
Yeah, because you could easily personalise that, put an embroidery on there, a name, whatever you actually want. So it's a nice little sort of idea, as it were. Right, okay, so first of all, we'll go to our page, natty notebook cover. Another word, natty. So it tells you all the instructions in inches and centimetres. We're using inches on this side because we've got this lovely pink mat today. It really shows all the colours up, doesn't it? So it tells you what you actually need to cut out for your fabric. We use four pieces. We use lining and cover, and then we use two different ones for the straps.
Yeah. Again, as with the K facet bag earlier, you're only using a small fraction of the fabric in that bundle, so you'll have loads left over.
I mean, I'm just thinking, what do I have left over? This is me.
There's 6 fat quarters in that bundle, so you're only using 3, and only a small section.
If you think, I love this little print. I think this is really, really pretty. I just used a little bit of this. So, and it's a lovely lime green. Wouldn't that look lovely with that cave lime green back? It would look really pretty. So, You get loads of bits of fabric to actually play with. Once you've decided on what you actually, which particular bit you actually want, you then cut out your fabric, and it tells you, I'm trying to read it upside down, where are we? Fabric 1, there we go. A note obviously to adjust the size, so
yes.
get your book and work out whether that's going to work for you.
Stuff,
yeah, the depth of the book and also the width, if it might stick out a bit. If this is slightly a higher one because it's a luxury, I suppose. Anyway, so once you've actually measured that and make sure it matches the measurements here, the first thing you need to do is cut out your fabric, and then you start with quilting your outer. You can't necessarily tell on this because it's black on black, but this is actually quilted in a diagonal grid pattern. So
I can see it.
You can see it.
But you might not be able to see it on your screens. I don't know if you can just see here, those diagonal lines going across.
So this is just to give it a bit of detailing.
It also just changes the feel, doesn't it?
It does. It changes the feel.
Depth and structure.
So here we have my sample. Well,
you can see it much more clearly.
Yeah, you can see it on this lovely blue. So, and you can see it much better on the back.
Great as well to practice quilting.
Yeah, really nice way of practicing quilting. So the way I do anything like this is draw a line, and then I use my wider ruler, and then do sort of 1.5 inches and go down and down and down and down, and mark,
Get it nice and even.
And then whatever wadding you're going to use it, attach it in whatever method you like. I tend to use a spray. The 3, what's the number? The 5, I can't remember what the actual number of the spray.
Adhesive.
Yeah, the temporary adhesive
one.
Just to hold it, and then you quilt it, and then you trim it down to size, bearing in mind this has I think it tells us, a 1/4 inch seam allowance.
Okay.
So I have trimmed 3 sides, so you can see how much extra wadding you have left over. And I'll just trim this side now. So let's just move that off a sec, and I'll just trim this off.
Would you say this is a beginner project?
Yeah, it's
very doable.
Yeah, it's very doable. It's not. I wouldn't say it's particularly complicated at all.
I'll just show you it in the book there. Well, we had a message in this morning from Leslie, who was going to send in some pictures of her notebook covers. So let's have a look at those. Oh, we've got the picture there. Let's see. Oh, they look
lovely.
great.
Oh, I love the penguins.
All
and
fabric
the
she's bought from
chickens.
Sewing Quarter as well.
Nice.
I was going to say,
Christmas.
I recognise that
do I miss
chicken
Christmas?
fabric.
I don't miss Christmas just yet, but I will, I'm sure.
No, they're really lovely. I love the chicken fabric. That would be great for recipes, I think.
It would.
For the,
or gardening, I suppose.
Yeah, no, that's true. When I was away at Christmas, I was staying in Surrey, and I stayed with my godfather, who I haven't been to their house for years and years, and he's so into cooking, and every morning he'd pick recipes that he liked from recipe books, and then he photocopies them and sticks them into journals.
You see, that's a really nice idea.
I loved it. It really inspired me. I was like,
because you refer to that as well. I have some of my parents' ones, which have got little bits cut out from newspapers and also little handwritten notes.
Yeah, I love all of that.
So this sort of idea, your actual sort of notebook, you put loads of bits in there, so you have the sort of Sunday supplements. They always have nice recipes in, and you sort of keep your magazine, and I'll get around to it at some point. And you never do, you forget. But something like that, you just stick them in, so you've got like a sort of scrapbook, as it were.
And it was like the ones that went well. He almost sort of rated them in the book, like, oh, I've come back and reviewed
this is rubbish.
that. But you could do it for sewing, couldn't you? For quilting.
Oh,
if you get quilt ideas from a magazine, you go, oh, I like that one. I'm going to keep hold of that.
That's a really nice idea, actually. Yeah, because you things are online and in magazines, but if you see a little idea, you can actually note it in your book.
Yeah,
that's a really nice idea.
And then you've got it there, or a stitch journal. There's loads of things you can do.
A stitch journal, like a bullet journal. Oh, honestly, stationery. I know.
It's
we love stationery.
Easy for me to do stationery. I love it.
So you have your quilted front, and then you need to attach it to your lining. What you actually do, I'll give that a press in a sec, is you right sides together. So if this had a right side, it would be right sides together, and you sew it all the way around. Leave a turning gap on one of the short sides, okay? Yeah. And then we'll turn it around like that. So let me just give that a very quick press, and then I'll sew that together.
So this is the book is on your screen on that main graphic on the side at the moment. That's the Mini Patchwork Project. So that's the one that's got the bowl and the notebook cover and the pin cushion and things in. And the bundle that Jess is working with, which is this red and blue one, is the bundle on the bottom of your screen. So that's that one there. JJGC90. You get 6 fat quarters. You can't really see that too clearly from the picture, obviously from above, but there are 6 different patterns in there. And the wadding.
And the wadding.
Now we've also got the Tilda one, which has been really, really popular, so we'll just show you the graphic for that. That's the one that's got the pink and blue, and then it's also teamed up with your spearmint and your green 2 fat quarters from the cottage collection. Here it comes. less than 10 of that in stock. So we knew straight away we probably wouldn't have enough of that one today. JJGC 91. Obviously very spring-like colour. So if you are going for a gardening journal, what you're going to plant or what you want to plant, that's a nice fabric collection for that.
I love those Matilda prints anyway, but those particular spearmint ones are just gorgeous, aren't they? They're really nice. I love this time of year.
And yeah.
Well, we've had so much Christmassy, so it's nice to sort of get.
I'm a bit over like deep, like green and red.
Oh, green and red. Yes, I've got green and red now. But yeah, so you're looking in the shop windows now, and it's all that sort of spearmint and pastel pink. Oh, I love it. I love this time of year when the sort of sun starts
creeping back in.
It's in the evenings, and it's not too. The sun hasn't completely gone down yet.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it yesterday. I went for I live near the seafront. I went for a walk along the beach, and it was so sunny. And I was like, I forgot what this feels like. I forgot what it feels like to feel the sun.
To actually feel the sun on your face. You actually forget. It honestly feels like it's been the longest winter. I know it hasn't been, but it honestly feels like it.
But we're past now, aren't we? The longest day.
Yeah, was that 21st or 22nd of December?
It was a while ago. So now it starts to get lighter again, doesn't it?
And then, of course, come March, the clocks change.
Yes.
Right, okay, so I'll just pin and sew with a 1/4 inch. Woo! Ooh, hang on, that's slipping about a bit. There we go. Just hurl everything around.
Yes, I'm going to have to tell you because they're laughing in my ear and it's making me laugh. So in the last hour, I had a fabric that had acorns on it, and I thought they were strawberries. So I was happily talking about them being strawberries, and the fabric's even called acorn. And now they're saying, oh, at Wimbledon now you have acorns and cream rather than strawberries. They're just winding me up.
Were they red?
They were all different colours. They weren't acorn colour either. They were pink. There was a pink one. There was a green and orange. So different colours.
Well, to be fair,
they did look a bit like strawberries.
Well, to be fair, you know, how would you know the difference?
Exactly.
And sometimes fabric can be confusing.
I'm just using my imagination.
Exactly. I love that.
So right colours together, right sides together,
and sew it out with a 1/4 inch. From turning gap to turning gap. Let me just double check that's a 1/4 inch. There we go.
So fairly simple, really, and all straight
really
lines.
Simple.
So nothing too.
You say that as soon as you say all straight lines, it's all going to go wonky. That's the way it normally works. Just go all the way around. And then, do you have, as John calls it, the Derek the Dobber sitting in your tray, the turning tool?
Oh yeah, good old
the fat knitting needle.
Derek the Dobber.
Yep. Because when you turn it out, you poke all the corners. Go on.
We've had a message through. I'm not sure who's from. It just doesn't say a name, but hi. Just a note about the last programme. As an ex-image and colour consultant, I just need to clarify. Everyone can wear true red, not just any red. So I was saying that I thought that everybody could wear red as any colour, and you can wear true red. So that is true. I'm not going mad. What's the difference then between true red and any? I guess there are different shades of red, aren't they? I would imagine like a poppy red.
Oh, I suppose so, because then it's neither cool nor warm.
If it's not a burgundy or like a pastel-y version of it. So that is some proof that you can wear red. I'm not making things up.
Whenever I think of burgundy, I always think of Ron Burgundy.
Of what?
Have you not seen that movie?
No.
Ron Burgundy.
No.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's genius.
I haven't seen that.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, okay.
Being full-on Will Ferrell. When it comes to reds, I can only wear sort of cool tones, any sort of vaguely sort of red tones. Even the weird thing is now my hair is great. It used to be sort of like Snow White, very dark brown, and I could wear lots more bright colours. But now it's grey. It always looks a bit strange when I'm really, really bright colours.
Do you think?
Yeah, it
changes the colours you can wear.
Yeah, your face changes. Yeah. Your skin tone changes. So what I've actually found now is I can wear more corals. Whereas I never used to. I always used to wear very wintry sort of colours.
Yeah, it just shifts to something else. It does shift.
But yeah, when it comes to sort of pinky reds, that works fine. But otherwise, it just looks really odd.
I can't really do pink. It's funny, isn't it? Different hair colours. My hair, I
thought you'd look really good with pink.
No, like pale pink I can do, but fuchsia, this is not good. Like too good for me.
It's a bit in your face, isn't it?
I'm holding this like a pen. We've got a message from Joanne. Morning, Joanne. Could you go through the book again? With pleasure. With pleasure. So this is the Mini Patchwork Projects. So this is the book that the notebook cover comes from. So I'll just go through from the beginning. It's a really well styled book. All the photos are really nicely styled. They're not too cluttered. You can really sort of clearly see what's going on. These are some examples of some of the projects here. Talks you through your basics, your materials, your sewing kits, what you need. And then we've got that picture garland to start with. That's my favourite project in the whole book. So it uses magnets to display little note cards or blocks or little scraps of fabric. You could do a photo garland, anything you like with that. Oh, just a stock warning, it looks like this is going to sell out quite shortly. So if you do like this one, nearing on more people with that in baskets than what we've got available. VUMZ31. So I'll just quickly skim through this for Joanne. You've got your bowl in there, your pin cushions, you've got the notebook cover that we're doing at the moment. That's the needle case. You've got the coaster set where you can join them all together to create sort of a sun or a flower. And then that hanging notebook, which is what we're doing now, the Natty notebook cover, which leads us nicely on to where we're up to.
So what I've done is I've sewed all the way around, apart from the turning gap, snipped off the corners, but not obviously through the sewing, just close to sewing, but not too much. Using my donut double, carefully poking out the corners so you don't poke through.
No.
So many dots. I've done that so many times when you're tired.
Oh, the book's sold out, just so you're aware if that graphic's not on the screen anymore, just to keep you in the loop. But we've still got the bundles that Jess is using. So we've got the Tilda bundle, which is on the bottom of your screen or just coming up. And the floral and the blue dots, the one that Jess has got here now, is the one on the side of your screen.
Just move this and give this a quick press.
Move these over.
There we go. I love this pressing mat. I need one of these as opposed to going.
It's just easier than always getting out an ironing board.
Oh, and the ironing board is constantly out, and it's just so much easier having something like this.
Mine always gets stuck as well on the way down. I have to give it a really good sort of.
Oh yeah, you sort of mine because I tend to sew into the early hours and
you don't want to
putting
make a noise.
It away, and it bang crash, and I can hear a sort of stir upstairs with the child thinking, "What's she doing?" I'll just give that a quick press.
Now, you said you trimmed away the corners. If you were a beginner, you might not have really known. So you always, when you're turning something through, just to stop the bulk, and so you get a nice sharp point.
So here we have, say, a corner. Let's find a corner that your camera can see. There's a corner. You see there?
It's coming.
It's trying to find my finger. Where is it? Where's she gone? There.
There it is.
Okay, here we have, say, a sewing corner. You would then cut away. This is an erasable pen. That. Can you see? Just cut that away.
Yeah, you can see it.
So when you actually turn it, you're not going to end up with bulks in the corners.
So it just means you get a lovely sharp finish. So it's nice and angular rather than being bulky.
Unless you want it bulky.
Yeah, of course. But same with sort of
cushions, you name
bags.
it. Anything with a square. Yeah, anything with a square. But also when you're turning as well, just be really careful not to poke through with your whatever method you're using. I know that some people use knitting needles. I find that too sharp a point. I tend to use a chopstick.
Okay, so it's a little bit more blunt.
Yeah, it's a bit more blunt.
Particularly toy making as well. You find Joe uses, if you're making any sort of some of the smaller animals that Joe's done, if you've got lots of fiddly little intricate bits, but if you use one of those smaller sticks, this is, you know.
That's quite handy because it's got, even though it's quite chunky, it's got a nice sort of rounded point, but not it's pointy enough. Yeah. Some of them aren't. But yeah, a knitting needle, I wouldn't use a metal one, that's for sure, but that's lovely. I love that.
Do you knit?
No. People keep saying, well, you know, I don't knit, I don't crochet. I should, because I come from a family of knitters, and my lovely mother-in-law, Janet, is a knitter who spins her own wool and dyes and all this.
Oh,
so she,
really?
I mean, yeah, she'll go to Shetland every sort of September and goes and buys wool.
Wow.
I know. She is a proper knitter. She can make up patterns.
Pro knitter.
A pro. So I have lots of lovely things from her. My one this Christmas was a beautiful knitted hat. Thank you, Mill. I call her Mill.
A shout out.
I'm Dill and she's Mill. So you've pressed all the way around, like that. And then you've got your turning gap.
Yeah.
So you then tuck that in and press it and try and make it as straight as possible. So there we go. I'll just give it. If you had a nice steam iron going, I know we don't tend to use steam in the studio.
Just because
not wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Press it and hold it down to make it nice and smooth. That will disappear when you sew it up. As you can see with this fabric, it's cotton. Red, when you put heat on it, it goes darker. Don't panic, because it goes back again.
It will dry.
It just goes back again. The first time you do it, you're thinking, back in. So here we have that's our outer. outer rather, and that's our inner with our pressed in turning gap.
I really like the quilted lines with the blue. It works really nicely. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I know we sell online as well. We sell marker pens in sort of different colours as well as the lovely favourite brown.
Yeah.
So
for this particular fabric, that's quite hard to see on.
That one was all right actually.
Okay.
Yeah, this one I actually use white.
Oh, okay.
And I know we do have a white. Yeah, the thing about using white, chalk will rub off as you're going back and forth. But with a white marker pen, which comes out with water, I know because I've done it on that one. The lines stay, and it's really complicated to see, especially when you're looking under light. Sometimes you can see it here, and then you go there and you just can't see it.
Quite see it.
Yeah. So whatever your method is,
whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you. So we've done that bit, and then. Here we go. So that's like that. So that's that bit done, pinned and sewed all the way around. And then what you actually do is you need to create your flappy bit, as it were.
Yes.
So this is where you get your book. That actually tells you. I think it tells you about 5. So I'm going to go around. So where are we? Starting. There we go. Hang on, where are we? Just trying to find it. Create the sleeve, here we go. Fold over 2 inches, trying to figure out whether it's 2 or 2.5 inches. So the side which doesn't have your turning gap, this one, you fold that over by 2 inches. This creates your flap to put your book.
Okay.
You're wondering why it's not on his side, because what you do is you then pin this, and then you sew all the way around, which creates your flap and closes your turning gap.
Oh yeah, all in one go.
All in one go.
So you haven't even got to go back and hand stitch that.
No, exactly.
Happy days.
Happy days. So we'll do that about there. And then give that a very quick press just to hold it, and then I'll stitch.
Oh, you know what else you could do? You could use this for a photo album cover.
Oh, you could, yes. Oh, do people still? I mean, I still have photo albums. I love,
I don't want them all on my phone. I want them printed.
Cloud? What's that about?
Yeah, I know. It's not, a cloud? It's not even a real thing.
A cloud? I want to actually see them. Okay, so...
We just had a message in from Mandy, just asking, can we clarify the contents of the Tilda bundle? Yeah, of course we can. So it's 2 fat quarters. I'll show you the image of that on screen. So there are 2 Tilda fat quarters. I'll just show you those. Oh, there's a picture coming. So it's not a bundle. It is just 2 individual fat quarters from the Tilda Cottage collection. So it isn't 6 like the other bundles. It is just the 2. Thank you. Then you've got your thread. And you get 2 half meters of fabric. There we go. Your wadding and your thread. So these are just singular fat quarters, each of those. But the difference with this bundle is that you get 2 half-metre cuts, and then your thread and your wadding. $20.99. JJ GC 91. I hope that explains it, Mandy. We are very limited to stock on that one, but I know the others are all bundles because the other 2 are 6-piece fat quarter bundles. That's why it's probably easy to get confused. So now you've pinned the sleeve, and we're going to go all the way around.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find the pin which I'm about to sew over because it's red. Where's it gone? Oh, there we go. Hang on. Yes, you then sew this, close this with an 1/8 of an inch. There we go. Red pins on red, not ideal. You don't need to go, put that down, you don't need to go right to the end. If you go right to the end, it's bulky anyway, because it's just to hold it. You're not putting, you know, intricate little details in there. This is the bit where if your book is bigger, obviously this will be slightly bigger. Sometimes you might find with this particular, the width of the book, I don't think you can see there, this is right to the edge. Yeah. If you want it, so it's wider. Roomy, yeah, make it. Yeah, I mean this is quite a sort of a tight-fitting one, but if you wanted it nice and sort of bulky and roomy, then you can do that. Right, so just go to the end and the corner.
While you're just going round, we won't skip ahead, but if you just, I'm just going to recap those other bundles.
Okay, cool. I'll just go around.
But you're just literally going around the edge, aren't you? That's all.
That's all I'm doing.
Just in case, we don't want you to miss. So we've got some new bundles as well to show you this morning. So some other different popular projects, stationery-wise, that are on that same theme. So we're going to show you those this morning. Now, first of all is the we've got a tablet case. So this is great for iPads or Kindles or any of those sort of tablets. Now, what you've got here. Inside this, what gives this its rigidity, this is like I can't really, can you see that's got something inside? And what that is it's a keeper. So it stays in place, you sew it between the layers of the fabric, almost like the stabilisers that you put in the bottom of a bag. And these go in there, they stay in place. We've just managed to get these back in stock today. I'll show if I got this here to show you. Yeah, we have. Here we go. So you get 6 pieces in here. We've got a few things actually. We must have had a delivery this morning because we've had a few things that we've managed to get back in today for you. So you get 6 pieces in here. You get 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large. Last time this sold out completely. These are from Clover, so you could use them. You can see there for different size tablets. And what it does is it keeps it nice and protected. So if you drop it, it's obviously got a little bit more protection. It's going to stop the screen from getting scratched just through the fabric. But also just means that you're going to maintain the shape of the case that you've made. You can just see there where it's been inserted, and you do get instructions in there. I wonder if I can open one. Okay. I've got permission to open, so I'm going to show you what's in here. It's quite thick, you'll notice. You can just see that there. Kind of like a plastic sheeting. That's the bigger one. That's... is it A4? Is it specific? I wonder if it says whether it's A4. 3 different sizes. So it's 8 by 11 inches, 7 by 9, and 5 by 8. But you get 6 pieces. You've got the bigger one. You've got a medium-sized one, which I imagine that's sort of the size of an iPad. And then you've got, this is more of maybe a Kindle sort of size. But you get double, so you could just put it on the front, and you could, if you just want the strength and stability and that protection on the front, or you could sort of do it on the back and front, as we have with this one that's made up here, or if you wanted to stand up. It's quite good as well if you want to, if you do want to stand the iPad up and you've got it in the case. It's quite good because you can see here. This one, if this was just fabric, obviously it would just flop on the floor. But because it's got that in there, it will stand up. So perhaps if you're in the kitchen, you're following a recipe, or perhaps you're watching something, you know, when you turn it back. Maybe you're watching Sewing Quarter while you're doing some in your workroom. Maybe you're working away doing something. You could prop that up there, and the keeper just means it's going to stand up more easily. Or maybe if you don't want maybe grandchildren or children to hold it and you want to have it stood up, it just means that it's got that protection there. They don't need to touch it. It can just be there as a visual. Maybe if they're watching some children's TV or something on there, playing games. But you can just see that's got no tablet in it at all. At the moment, that's just the keeper in place between the fabric layers, and it just gives you that, you know, it's got that rigidity. Whereas if it was just the fabric, like that section, obviously it would move very differently, that there. SWGQ81, back in stock this morning. As I said, sold out last time. We have managed to get that back in. Let's pop that on there. But a really lovely product. Something, I imagine, you know, that's quite a new thing, isn't it? Because tablets and iPads and all those things haven't been around for ages and ages, and it's different. If you're making a notebook cover, obviously you don't need to necessarily protect paper or a notebook, but if it's an electrical item that you've spent a lot of money on, you want to make sure it's nice and secure. So worth investing just in that protector, really. Let's pop those in there. Now, we've put a couple of cave bundles together, which we thought would be great for these tablet covers if you wanted to make one. So the first one you can see are these 2 fabrics that are in this holder itself. So it's the linear look fabric in mustard, and then the cave fabric there, the squiggle fabric. So this bundle, is it that colourway, mauve? I don't think this is that the right graphic? Oh, it is mauve, okay. And then you also get your yellow thread. So you get ½ metre of each of those fabrics, plus your thread, £12.99. Another option, if you wanted to make a tablet case, here, again, you've got your linear look in a darker red, and then you've got your caif in your navy and red. That's the raked fabric there. That kind of looks like interwoven, like a knot of rope, doesn't it? You know, sort of nautical rope and things like that. AAGC 90. And then we've got another caif squiggle option for you. This one's teamed with a spot-on fabric. So these are all 100% cotton, and as I said, you'll get ½ metre of each of these fabrics. So you've got the squiggle there on that sort of lilac-y colour with the pink, and then you've got the spot-on pastel pink. QJGC 22, again £12.99. Now, the other bundles we've had this morning are for the notebook cover that Jess has been making, that we're just doing at the moment. I'm just going to move those over there. I'll just recap those for you. So first up, we've got the one that Jess is currently working with. So that comes with a solid blue. That's what we've used for the lining of the notebook cover. A blue thread, a big old bag of craft wadding, polyester wadding. And then you get 6 fat quarters in this pack. So you've got your leaf fabric in 3 different colours, in the navy, the red, and then you've also got your ditzy floral, and you've got some spot-on fabrics in there as well. $22.99. JJGC 90. Then the next one is the notebook cover that's already made up. So that's the one with the daisy. So you've got a black solid, a black thread. You've got your craft wadding, and I'll show you the fat quarter bundle for this one. Again, 6 fat quarters in this bundle, 100% cotton. These are from So Easy. So you've got a daisy there in navy. You've got your green spot on. You've got your daisy on black. You've got your red and your red daisy print there as well. $19.99. And finally, I don't know how much, if any, stock we've got left of this one. I'll just quickly show you. Less than 5. So the Tilda one, just quickly, you get 1/2 metre of the pearly blue, 1/2 metre of the dusty pink, your blue thread, your wadding, and you just get 2 fat quarters in this bundle, as these are designer fabrics from Tilda, from the Cottage collection. And those are single fat quarters, you can just see there. JJGC 91. Now, you might also spy on the table, we've got 2 other bundles for you this morning on this theme of tablets and notebook covers and cases. And this is a stand. So we'll show you a picture first of all. Have we got just to show you what comes in each bundle? So you get your instructions. There we go. And it's kind of like a bean bag for your tablet. So it's a tablet rest. We quite often, these are Natasha's instructions. Natasha McCarty's one of our presenters here at Sewing Quarter. She's back in next week. We quite often have this on our Sewing Quarter desk. It's like a little bean bag for your tablet to keep it comfy and keep it really great price. You've got all of your instructions there, your step-by-step guide. You get 1/2 metre of fabric and your thread and the instructions. So you just need to add the beans to sort of put inside there to give it the weight, as you would with the doorstop. But $8.99, you get 1/2 metre of that fabric, and it's got a canvasy feel to it. It's a nice, thick, durable fabric with that zigzag line. That's that fabric there. And that's sort of a dusty pink teamed with a cream thread. And then there's a Tim Holtz option. So again, you see that influence from his stamping and papercraft background in that lovely, sort of quite a regal feel to it, that actually. And you can see that stampy, inky detail where it's got that mottled effect. And even text that's sort of transferred over. Can you just see in the background there of that? So you get 1/2 metre of that. And your instructions on your thread again, $10.99, JKGC 11. That's the Tim Holtz tablet rest. One final reminder of those keepers, so the plastic that goes inside. If you have got those in your basket, please do check it out. It's those plastic sheets that you get in 3 different sizes. So they're like these, if you could just see. In those 3 different sizes, you pop it inside the fabric. You get 6 pieces in total, and they act as a protector for your tablet or notebook, and also add some stability and structure to it as well, so it stands up on its own. $8.50. Let's head back over to Jess, who's patiently waiting. I can feel you there, Jess, ready to move on. Where are we up to?
Where we're up to is we've sewed all the way around, so you now have your little sleevey pocket, and we've closed our turning gap in the process.
Okay.
You then take your book and you slot it into the sleeve. This is a nice tight-fitting one.
A snug one.
A snug one. Obviously, if you make it bigger, it'll be looser, whatever your preference is. And if you're using thick wadding, make it bigger anyway, because it'd be really tight.
Because it will take a bit more room.
The point is, you pop that in there, and then you fold that over, and this is the bit where you actually create your loops. If you wanted to do a quick one, what you could do is you could just get Velcro and sew a strip there, and then mark where it is, and sew a button and a tab. Or a button or a tab, whatever you actually, that'd be a nice way. You could actually sew a tab in here. And put a little button or a little elastic, if you wanted to do that way. But we're going to do ours with a hanging strap. So what we actually do is, what's that? Is that Velcro, or what's that one?
These are Velcros here. So if you wanted to stick these on, I can show you those Velcros. You've got it in black and white. So again, you can just pop that on if you wanted to. Obviously, great for ease and nice and quick. Are these the stick-on ones? Yeah, you just peel and stick these, don't you? Let me just check that it's the... Yeah, you don't have to sew or glue those or iron them into place. You just peel the back off and stick that Velcro into place. So
that's much easier.
It is much quicker.
Yeah.
It's got an adhesive already built onto it. I wasn't sure if it was that one, but you've got your black one there, $3.99. And then you've got your white. And they say it's fully adhered. It sort of becomes a permanent bond within 24 hours, but it's just got almost like sticky back plastic on the back, then you just stick it on. That's the white one. And you get 60 centimetres.
That's actually quite a lot.
Yeah, because if you think about the size of that,
meters of it, do you?
You could just do a tab.
You could do a tab, exactly, a little one. Or you could. I was thinking about. You remember that? Have you ever seen that commercial where they have sort of Velcro on them and they hold themselves at the wall?
Yes.
I love that.
That reminds me of the game that's like, is it like tennis? You know, where you have the Velcro sticky
on the
pads?
Hats. Yeah.
Oh, you could do it on a hat.
Yeah, we have that on hats. The kids go like this. Anyway, so that is your book's in there. Make it. This is how you actually want it to be when you hang it. So either have it really tight or loose, however you actually prefer. So I prefer to make mine nice and tight. You fold this over here, and what you're doing is you're working out where your straps should go.
Yeah.
So that just sits there waiting for you to do the next bit. So you put that to one side and then you make your straps. You have a short strap and a long strap. The short strap is this one, which, what's that called? I think it's got a name on here.
It's for like the pencil holder.
What's it called? Central pen loop. That's the central pen loop. And then you have the side loops and the handle.
It's just this bit here.
So you cut, it gives you the measurement in the books. I'll just tell you quickly. We go, one centre strap is 2.5 inches by 8.5, and the long straps are 2.5. So if you've got jelly rolls,
perfect.
In case you haven't managed to get this, and by 22. So first of all, you take your strip.
The book has sold out, by the way, just so if you are trying to add that to your basket. Been really, really popular one this morning.
So yeah, 8.5 by 2.5. You fold this in half, right sides facing. Stitch only down there with a quarter. Turn it right side out, press it. You end up with one of these. And these are still open. What you then do is you then...
So you've got a tube at the moment.
You've got a tube. So, and you beat that for the long strip. And what you actually do is you then turn the ends in by 5 millimetres, 1/4 inch. Give them a quick press. I'll just do that very quickly.
Okay.
This is the sort of vaguely fiddly bit. Not too fiddly, it's just faffing about when you've got your fingers like this. Pop it in, just turn it that way around and just give them a quick press. This actually, because you're going to, these ends will be sewn into the actual loops, you won't actually see them.
So they're going to disappear anyway.
They're going to disappear because they're sewn over. So I'm just press that in.
But what happens is if you missed this earlier, as this comes together, as you fold the notebook cover round, what you can do is then just pop a pencil through, so you've got the straps there that you could hang it up with, but you can put that all the way through. So it keeps a pen in one place and it also keeps your book nice and neat and tidy. So we're just creating those little loops there. And this is it in the other, that's one bundle. This is one of the other colourways that we're working with this morning. The blue and navy, that's the one that's on the graphic at the moment.
The thing is that there are so many different prints to choose from. I just chose those ones because I rather like the colour combinations. But you've got, obviously you've got that leaf print, you've got the spot, there's also another
a Dixie floral in that, which I really like actually.
Yeah, that's what I've done for the other strap.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, so I thought I'd use all three.
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
the
I really
other
like that one.
strap. Yeah,
It looks
I like
a little
that
bit like Liberty.
I was thinking that when I was going through them, I thought, oh, that's my Liberty-esque print. Right, okay, so that's that. Those are tucked in by about 5 millimetres, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. So you then take your book in here, nice and firm, fold that over and work out where, that's about 9 inches. You then need to work out your strap, which is going to be pinned in the middle bit here, about 5 millimetres down from then. Before we do that, I forgot to say, you fold this over by one end, just pick any of the ends, fold it over by 2.5 centimetres or 5 centimetres, no, hang on, 2.5 centimetres or 1 inch.
Okay.
So
it's in the book, it is
in the book. And
you just use the mat so instinctively, don't you?
Yeah,
to use that as a measurement.
You see, you say that and then I'm going to make a mistake. That's how it works, isn't it? So you just sew that down because you're creating your loop.
For the pencil.
Your pen or pencil.
So if you did have a specific pen or pencil that you wanted to use, you could even
measure it. Yeah.
Do that to size, couldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I double check anyway, but to me it looked about right. So then I double checked and thought, oh yes, that is right.
Because sometimes if you've got, you know, like a big fat biro,
or you've got
one of those pen,
one of those gorgeous pens, sort of grown-up pens. I always think they are. Hang on, go back to the end. Still getting used to this machine. I do like it though. The fact it's got sort of instant bit like this, and the fact you can move all the needles over. I have a slightly more. I have a sewist, a gingham sewist is one of mine. That's what I tend to use.
Do you notice the difference when you come in and use different machines? Obviously, they all have different features.
Well, the Elners and ginghams are very similar. The feet are interchangeable for a start, which is handy. Just think there's bits off. But yeah, I'm over for the super posh on the 680. That's really fancy. I like that one. Right, okay, so you have your loop.
I'm trying to remember who was desperate for one for Christmas. It was Tilly. I don't know if she got one, but she was, every time she was on, she was hinting to her husband. She was like, I really want the 680 for Christmas. I don't know if she got it or not. But
okay, yeah. That's nice. So you have what you tend to do is you tend to pin this in place just so you're actually not pressing it down. So, or what you could do if you didn't want to pin it is you could mark, which I'm going to do. This is a cheat. You can mark where this actually ends up. So you have your line.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And that's where you know the flap's going to be.
Yeah.
And then you measure about 1/4 inch down. So because we've got our lovely 1/4 inch ruler here, there's the 1/4 inch mark.
You just add that on.
I'm just going to add that on. So this, and this comes out. This is where your loop should actually rest against, because what that actually means is that when that folds over,
then they're going to lock.
They're going to lock, yeah,
like that.
They're going to lock in like that.
So you want them to all line up in sort of at the end. So if you can see there.
So work out the middle point of where this actually is. This is a 9-inch product, should we say? Just over 9, no, just less than 9. There we go, and it's sewed together. So I'll find the middle point, which is obviously 4.5. That's going to be the middle point of my strap. So that, making sure that this bit, the sewn bit,
is
underneath. That needs to be there. I'm just going to draw a line there, just so I know where it is. Then what it says is you pin it all in, but I find it difficult to pin when there's a book in.
Yeah, so you could take it out, but
you can take it out. As long as you're marking it, it really doesn't matter. And also, it's a bit fitting when your hands are tired.
You don't need to make it hard for yourself,
no,
do you?
Exactly.
You just put the book in at the end.
No, put the book in at the end.
It's so surreal to just scribble away on the fabric, but you just know you can.
You just know. I mean, they always say test, but I know this is bulletproof. I can actually put this on bonder web, interfacing, iron that on, and then through layers of fabric, and then wet it out, and
still
it goes.
Get it out.
It goes.
That's brilliant.
I love it. So just make sure this is lined up nice and straight. So this is the bit which you haven't sewn. What you're going to do is make sure that's central, nice and central, pin it in place, and then you stitch just over the actual sewn line there so that the loop isn't flapping about.
Okay.
So you're just closing that stitching, and you're stitching all the way around to hold it. So I'll just pin that and stitch.
We've got about 5 minutes or so.
About 5 minutes. Am I the right way around? Hang on a second. My brain's dying. Hang on. Let me just double check I am the right way around. There we go. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, that's right. Your brain always thinking.
You start to double guess yourself, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Right, okay, that's fine. So I'll pin it and then I'll show you how to do the other strap. So let's put that in.
And with the other straps, you're making them in the exact same method in terms of the 2.5-inch strip folded in.
There you are.
Here we go.
So that's the one which is 22 inches long.
But the same width, and again, just folding in the end.
The folding in the end.
Pressing that.
Yeah.
So you see you're creating that tube to go all the way around. This time it's obviously longer because you're going to create that hanging strap that you can just see here.
And you could make it longer. I mean, that's actually set for 22 inches. It depends how high your peg is, really.
Yeah,
whatever
if you want to hang
want.
it up, because you can see it'd be like that. We've had a message, was it an email from Christine saying, a great show again from Jess. Oh, from Chris. Morning, Chris.
Hello. I'm glad you like it.
Just great demos.
Oh, this is sewn on with an 1/8 of an inch. Just so you know.
Chris is off to do her dinner lady duty, but she's going to watch the rest of the show later. Remember, you can always as well, if you haven't watched us before, obviously now we're on Sky, so we're on Sky Channel 6, 7, 8, and Freeview Channel 78, but also you can watch on YouTube. All of our shows go up on there, so if you have only just discovered us, you can watch back if you want. There's nearly a year's worth of shows to go back and watch, so you can just watch specific hours or specific designers. You can go back through those and recap and learn some different skills and techniques and things.
As we said, I do go back and watch on YouTube. When I've seen something like yesterday, Victoria did this fabulous,
yeah.
Absolutely
Stunning,
gorgeous. I love that, and I was merrily watching that, thinking, oh yes.
Quite fancy that.
Yeah. There we go. So that's just sewn over. I'll just slip it off. Quick. You can see this has got sort of slightly wonky because I'm doing it in a rush. Yours would be perfect.
Well, mine might not be. You can give it a go.
And as you can see, the thread really nicely matches with the lining. It's well chosen, the lining.
I like this colour combination.
So then you pop your book back in. Giving it a squeeze. There we go. Push it in nice and firm. Admire your handiwork. Oh, aren't I fabulous? So then you're adding your other loops. So as you say, this is 22 by 2.5. Then you have your open bits then. This is actually going, you then fold this over, the end bits, to the seam by 4 centimetres. So we're just going to 4 centimetres.
It's like an inch and a bit smidge, isn't it?
Inch and a, I know. Hang on a minute, Paula. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, I can feel that is there. So we're going to do copy. If in doubt, find the one you've just made and work out where the lines are. There we go. That's about right. So I'm just going to pin that in place. Don't stitch it just yet, just pin it. The reason why you're doing it longer is that this particular sewn bit here is going to be hidden by this lining, so you don't need to close it there because you're going to do it there.
Okay. We're running out of time.
That's all right. I'll pin it and then I'll
minute or so.
Ooh, I'll pin it and then I'll show you. And then you get an idea. So I'll just pin it there. Da, da, da. Okay, so imagine that's just pinned. Well, it is pinned, isn't it? But imagine it. So you work out where you actually want your loop to go. So they say about another 5 mil to one side. So this is where your actual end bit needs to be where the sewn bit is. So the pen
because you want the pencil to go all the way through. Yeah, I'm with you.
So and then you pin that there, place it, just to hold it. We'll just pin it here just so you get an idea. But you could actually mark it however what your actual choice is. Nice and straight. With this would be nice and close. And then you pin this up to there, the edge bit here, because it actually hangs when this is in. It hangs
over the spine of the book.
So it actually hangs from there. Can you see?
I just think that's a bit more secure as well. Then from the front,
from there it'll flop, whereas this will hang therefore flush with your wall.
Yeah.
Can you see? It hangs flush with the wall. Can you?
So you
dark colours.
So
there you go.
You go over the spine of the book and you go towards the back of the spine.
So you go there, and then you go round, and you do it on the other side, and pin, and then you sew.
Let's pop that in so you can see.
So then you sew. You take it off, and then you sew your little loop just here. So it actually is the same sort of width as that. Visually, it looks better. You can see it just there.
There we go.
You can see just there. So that is the same width as that. And then you sew the end bits, which you've actually got pinned,
here,
are sewn all the way around. So you sew from there. Where are we? From there all the way around. You actually pin
all the way around.
All the way around, and then you've got your.
I love it in that colourway.
Doodah, like that. But of course, make this longer if you actually want. So it's really, you get an idea. It's
make a long shoulder strap.
If you wanted to, you make a massive one. So you got your it's like a clutch.
I'm going to quickly do the menu for tomorrow.
There you go.
20 seconds. Let's show you the menu for tomorrow morning. Jess is back in tomorrow, actually.
I am.
So we've got Dresden Cushion at 8. I'm in again tomorrow morning. Then 9 o'clock, we've got Paul Clark is in as well.
Met him yet?
You've not met Paul. Paul's lovely, and he'll no doubt be in some of his shirts that he's made himself. He changes them between shows as well to keep us on our toes.
Ooh.
Then we've got the Tilda Person bag with Jess and the Infinity Scarf and bag with Paul. So we've got a really lovely morning.
Oh, nice.
Of dressmaking and purses and bags. Now, just a quick recap today. The machine, the Elna sewing machine 540 that we've bundled for today only with that walking foot. So you're saving £30 from that bundle. Usually £50 for that foot on its own. So we've popped it all together. A really great machine for dressmaking and quilting, and obviously your walking foot helping to make sure that it goes through with an even feed, no shifting. Very limited on stock for that. KTGC33, that's a special for today, £468.99. And we also had those rotary blades, just quickly, they're 45mm blades replacements that we've managed to get back in stock. So it's been a whirlwind of a morning. We've had about 40 fabrics in the hour before you, Jess. It's been mad.
I saw some of those. Look, see, you could put it like that.
But we're in tomorrow. Hold our bags, kind of like this. But we'll see you in the morning for some more making and fun.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
If you shop with us for the first time between Wednesday the 17th of January and Thursday the 18th of January and spend £30 or more, we'll give you an amazing bundle of free gifts. The bundle includes the book How to Use a Sewing Machine by Marie Clayton. It's packed with essential information on how to choose and use your machine, plus dressmaking techniques and expert troubleshooting tips. You'll also receive our 23cm dressmaking scissors with stainless steel blades for precise cutting. A pack of 7 Gutermann Sewell threads is included too, in warm French cottage colours. These threads are ideal for both hand and machine sewing. Altogether, these gifts are worth over £30, completely free for you as a new customer. So be sure to search through our online store filled with sewing delights, or watch our shows to find your perfect new purchase from the 17th of January. But don't delay, this offer is only available while stocks last.